injection.
Yeah.
That country is on high alert
Yeah,
following the
a
terrorist
couple months
attack
ago.
yesterday.
Right.
Tens of thousands of officers will
you
be
know,
on
I'll
patrol
do
as
okay.
voters go to the polls
Need
for
someone
their
to talk
first
to
round of
here,
voting.
Yeah.
President
You know a
Trump
lot,
tweeted this
hell of a lot more
morning.
people than I do.
French
You
people
got a lot
will,
more resources
"Not
of people
take
you
much
can
more
talk to.
of
Who
this."
am I?
Yesterday,
Yeah.
terrorists
And I'm here for you.
opened fire on the police vehicle,
Yeah,
killing
that's a
an
tough-
officer and wounding two
That's a
others.
tough one to
A
break.
convicted murderer in Arkansas is the first of several inmates to be executed before a lethal injection drug expires at the end of the month. Mark Mayfield has details.
Liddell Lee was one of the
So last time you said you were about to pay off your shop too. Is that
several
done?
approaches, they say staged
Nice.
execution. Lee's
Did that
execution
December
was just
last
before
year,
midnight
of
after a
course.
series of
House
last-minute
paid
appeals
for in
were
full,
rejected.
shops paid for
Earlier,
in
the
full,
state Supreme
property,
Court
everything was paid for in
blocked
full.
the use of
All
another
of a
drug
sudden,
involved in the drug cocktail.
now you
when
can
we
start
sold
making
drugs.
money and
The next execution.
So just let you know we're on right now on Facebook.
Mayfield.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Radio.
just went on.
Three of
Oh,
those
okay.
teenagers are in the
So, you know,
hospital
so
following
December I get all that handled.
Just
January,
SUV slammed into
February,
the side
March.
of a car at the Fort Worth
What the
Camp
hell?
Academy West Creek.
That's crazy.
About 8 o'clock.
Really
this
stressing
morning.
me out.
One driver was
Because it doesn't seem
killed
like
and
it's
pinned
dropping
under
off too bad, right?
An autopsy is pending today for
I
soul
mean, at least
singer
it's not on my
Cuba
side.
Senior.
No, I mean we had our
Gooding was the
best
lead
March
singer
gross
who ripped
wise.
the main-
I think I had the best March since we did it.
What is up,
Yeah,
folks?
yeah. What are you doing?
What's up, Mark, Kevin,
Oh,
Andy?
What's going on?
Thomas, how are you?
What are you guys doing?
Horrible. Celebrating Friday.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Why?
From NBC News.
Just getting into debt, guys. I'm just really stressed out.
What's changed?
What's changed? I'm asking what's changed.
Oh,
Shit,
shit, I gotta have that.
You know, it was $10,000 in credit card debt with radio, from my radio guy. So I finally told the radio guy, stop, hey, listen,
without being just a number and
we're gonna
without
stop the
dealing with
radio.
tons and tons
Do it.
Well, if it's not ringing, you got to.
purchasing.
Well, yeah, if it's not working, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, how did that digital campaign going for getting new customers? Did it do anything?
No.
I don't even, we'll discuss it later.
He didn't answer. We got a lot of complaints that people weren't getting back to us.
Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I got some, definitely.
Well, if you get a few, that means
The problem is when we ran it, the main problem was, we're talking the last one, just it was a 2-week deal, was you were out of town and Scott, I think, was with you. So I don't know if it's when the kids are away, but I actually,
Let me ask you something. Are you putting the time in there, or are you out of luck?
Well, I get there at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I leave at about 3. You know, but I see what's going on. You know. And,
what am I trying to put in here?
oh, yesterday I just left early. Like 1. Phones are just not ringing. Told Scott, go home, get some work done around the house. It's not good for me to be here when it's like this.
You were
But it's horrible.
Yeah,
This week, Tom, we probably did. I told Scott we should
Did you ever get some time?
$8,789 a month this week.
Let me not get it up on YouTube. I mean,
Calm down.
Poor guys.
About this life-changing therapy.
Oh, that'll kill you.
Last week,
Well, there's a reason for everything.
There is.
There's a reason for everything.
That's true. I'd like to know what the reason is.
Well,
you know what helped me? And it's not easy, because I know you and I feel the same way about dealing with every single thing coming in. I was there at 6:30 in the morning. I was there before my guys got there. Got them.
The last
got
thing
them
you should
started.
cut back on is advertising. Now, I'm not saying you should spend stupid money. Because a lot of these assholes, if business is slow, they say advertise more. If you advertise more and it's not working, they say advertise more. I'm not saying that. But there is a sweet spot. What you never do is try to save money by not advertising. You may as well stick a stake in your heart and say goodbye to the
So remember, I'm just
because
watching what I'm
you
doing.
cut back
So
on
I'm in
are
YouTube.
deadbeats
I'm
or stuff
logging
like
into the
he
back
said.
end of
You start
referral
leading the
lists.
forces.
So
You
YouTube,
say
I'm
the
gonna
phone's
go,
not ringing. I'm going to tell you something. We got
if I check,
literally 3. If we get 3 complaints, to me that's true. I'll tell you why. People had to take the time to call us.
Yep. Troubleshooter Space
3
Network.
out of your digital campaign.
Yep,
saying
just
nobody
to
got
do
back
it.
to them.
Then you
That
find,
means
see,
to
this
me
is doing the same thing. It's not showing me the
that
live
means
one
something.
yet.
When they tell me,
So I go to my channel.
you got to get back to people like this. And I don't know if your phone's ringing. You say it's not. I don't know if you guys are answering. I don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you, if I get 3 complaints, then we need to get back to them.
See what I'm saying? It just doesn't show.
That's what me.
So now I'm just going to go, this is the back end of referral list.
Whenever
I go to pages,
Well, it's benefiting.
people want,
and then I
they
hit
want
search.
to get back to
Watch this.
me. So whenever we did it, and it was one thing we talked about.
Watch.
We're doing our
What I'm
digital
doing is
promotion.
I'm hitting the watch live page.
We're going to
So I
control
log
these.
in, which I'll show
We're
you.
going to take.
Then here's
the
watch
person,
live.
We're
See
going
it?
to do the sale, and we're going to give
I
people.
come over here and I go.
In other words, if you have an offer, We're literally going to grab the offer.
Okay.
We're going to have
All you're
people answering the
replacing
phone,
is from
being
iframe,
their
see the
customer
iframe,
service.
to
Thank you,
iframe.
Mark
iframe to iframe. Where I get that as soon as I see the live one.
We'll get someone right to you, and boom, we're gonna call
Come on, we're
directly.
gonna live video.
And
We're
for
sure we're up,
any of our
right?
clients that
We
do
did
this,
this.
we're
We
gonna
went
do
through
that.
this yesterday.
Because
Let me try it again.
here's the
Lord,
thing.
it didn't used to be so
I
Maybe if there's something else. Okay, let me try Tom.
This is working, that is
Martino.
working, and there's always a reason, always. Because things
Oh, man, I
don't
wanna get
just
it up.
change. So we gotta
See, it
find a
says
reason,
live
and we
now,
gotta
see
fix
it?
it. And there's gotta be a reason.
Absolutely.
And it brings it to this.
I'm gonna text Scott right now.
This is the
I told him no more,
Troubleshooter
you're not doing any more
Show.
shows with me though. You need to stay here. Somebody
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
These are all wizards.
Mark, you know, by not
Oh, wait.
telling you.
When I went up to one of them, it brought it up. Okay, watch.
Hello, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. Today is Car Day. You know how it works, or maybe you don't. Maybe you're new to the show. If you are, thank you. In fact, let's have a new caller, a new listener appreciation day. Call, tell us when you've been listening. If you're a new listener, this is going to piss off old listeners, right? If you're a new listener, we're going to send you a T-shirt. Now, old listeners say, well, what do we get, Tom? Here's what old listeners get.
No, what old listeners say is, Tom, when you talk about phone companies and cable companies and how they don't reward long-term customers.
Here's what we'll do. Here's what I'm going to do. Long-time clients and listeners and friends, you come in here. I literally want to meet you. You come in to the referral list, and to the studio at Troubleshooter Network, and we'll treat you to lunch. All you have to do is go to live@troubleshooter.com and sign up. Every single day we do the show, we can accommodate 1 or 2 guests. Every single day. That would be more than 600 people a year. Now, we do have thousands of listeners, but listen, a fraction of you will actually respond, right? I couldn't accommodate the entire audience, but I would over time. So here's what I'm saying. New listeners, give us a call. We'd like to hear about you.
How about we do that car thing today? If someone's got a cool car, they drive up, and they can buy us lunch.
I don't think we'll do that. No, here's the deal. Our number is 303-713-TALK. And on a serious note, we do help you. Spread the word. Really. It's free. Everything we do is free. Until, of course, if you need an attorney for the entire case and we refer you, we can't tell you we're going to take your case free or we're going to fix your transmission free, but we'll do the diagnostics, we'll do the troubleshooting, we'll do all of the preliminary work. Sometimes we do class action lawsuits or we do other lawsuits, joinder lawsuits they're called, when we have a bunch of people with the same problem. We will help you in any way we can. Let's put it this way. You're better off calling than not calling. If someone lied to you, cheated you, or ripped you off, 303-713-TALK. We have a lot of exciting things happening at the Troubleshooter Network. I think we're probably the only people in the world with the complete fusion of internet, radio, and TV, and we are going to help you in any way we can. So what you need to do is just call 303-713-TALK. Now, there's a number that also works around the clock. If you leave a message, we'll get back to you, and that's 303-MARTINO. Today we are talking cars, but I would also like to talk about anything you want, all right? But it is Car Day, and I have some people with us. A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, Mark Machowski, Budget A1. And he is on Santa Fe, just near, what was it?
Yeah, just south of Dartmouth.
Just south of Dartmouth. But there's another street there I always find funny.
Yeah, we're between Dartmouth and Hamden.
No, but there's another tiny street. What is that called?
Rob Roy Court?
Yeah, Rob Roy.
Yeah.
What the hell is Rob Roy? Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you are over there. You've been there for how many years?
We've been there for 29 years, going on 30 now.
We get a lot of compliments about you.
Yeah.
So that's where
Thank
he
you.
is. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, 2 locations. Kevin, where are they?
We're on 2nd and Havana in Aurora and Colfax and Wadsworth in Lakewood.
Okay. And we have, and how long you been there? How long you been in business?
Well, we've been in business 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So see, we got some good people there. 2nd and Havana, and where? What in Colfax?
Colfax. Actually, Zephyr and Colfax. 3 blocks west of Wadsworth on Colfax.
Colfax and Wads, basically. And then we have Andy Barella from Colorado Springs Dodge. Comes up from the Springs. We have a huge audience in the Springs. Colorado Springs Dodge. we'd like to ask how you would handle a problem.
Oh, I'm dying to know.
But hold on. I don't want to influence these people by telling them what they should or should not do. But I really...
There was no influence.
No. And I say I want to know the truth. And, of course, Andy, you're going to say, well, I always tell the truth. And I know that. But what I mean is this. It's kind of not fair asking people to look hindsight at something. So I'm truly going to ask if you can be totally objective here. Okay? You sell tires to somebody. You give them roadside assistance. Okay? Does that come from the dealer, or does that come from the manufacturer? Usually the dealer. You guys add on packages?
It is. It's a dealer program.
And you pay for those, right?
That's correct.
And,
we do.
And then who takes care of that? If somebody's traveling, or if somebody's at Fort Collins, or somebody's around town, who takes care of that roadside?
Well, the good thing is with any Chrysler, any Dodge dealer, you can go in and the program is called Tire Works. So there's actually a registered contract with Mopar, with Chrysler.
Okay.
So you can go in and take care of it at any store as long as...
But roadside
as you have
assistance, who's that provided by?
Roadside assistance is also the same contract. That's done through Tire Works, through the Mopar program.
Would they call you and say, we have somebody that needs roadside?
There's an 800 number that the folks can call.
But who would they call, that 800 people? Are you one of the vendors they would send?
Well, normally no. It's gonna be one of the vendors that's part of our group.
What are they? Independent, or are they dealers? What are they?
They're independent.
Okay. If an independent guy goes out to do roadside assistance and breaks something, I just want to say breaks something. He's pulling a tire off and he does damage to the car. Do you feel responsible if you sold those tires?
I would be secondary responsible. He should have his own insurance and take care of the matter himself.
What if he doesn't?
Then I would get involved in it.
So
then I would come up with something fair.
Okay, but because I don't believe it, and I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm saying I don't believe it. I don't believe meaning.
I thought we weren't going to try to push opinions here.
I'm telling him my opinion. He already tells his. I didn't push him. He said what he said. I'm not saying Andy's lying. I'm saying that I don't truly believe it would work that way, because here's the deal. If that independent guy went out there and manhandled a car, and the wheel, I want to do both scenarios, minor and major. The wheel comes off, wrecks the car. You going to buy the car?
No.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get a hold of insurance and
but
see
you'll
what's
fight
fair
and
work with them. Absolutely.
Okay. If they ruined his transmission, or if they ruined a lug, if he had to rebuild the wheel, if it was a $4,000 job, and the vendor went out there said, I'm not doing it, and he bought it. He bought the tires from you, but you had nothing to do with the repair. He bought the tires from you, and that independent guy was sent out by Mopar. He wasn't even sent out by you, okay? But he did damage.
Correct.
The consumer calls you and says, Andy, this guy did it. He won't do anything. His insurance denied it. Will you help?
Right.
Are you going to rebuild his transmission for $4,000?
I'd go back to the vendor.
Okay.
I certainly would. I would pursue him with everything I had. Absolutely. Of course I would.
Would you go to Mopar? And you'd fight with Mopar. You'd say, Mopar, you guys have to help this guy. You sent the independent out.
Well, yeah, he's a part of the program.
Right.
So absolutely, they should be involved.
Right.
Everybody should be involved.
Because I believe Mopar, if they sent him out, would be responsible.
Now, let's go to the actual thing that happened.
I believe that if Mopar sent him out, did you hear what I said? Andy didn't send him out. Colorado Springs Dodge didn't send him out. They sent him out. Just like if AAA sends somebody out. Okay.
I agree with you.
Okay,
that's right.
But to say that you would fix it, I don't think that's the way it would work. I think Mopar should fix it. If they're sending vendors out to consumers, I think they're responsible for those vendors.
I think they're the primary party. You're right.
Now, well, the primary party, like you said, is the guy who did the work. Now, in the actual circumstance, I know Andy would take care of it. And I know that Kevin Calkin would take care of it.
Yeah, but throw in what the dealer did as well, though.
I know. I will tell you that I believe that you guys would take care of it, especially if it's a $400 fix. The vendor goes out. He ruins something minor. He ruins
It's a thing that drops the tire down. The mechanism
carriage.
That drops it underneath.
The carriage that lowers and raises.
He put an impact gun on it instead of cranking it down slow and screwed up the entire mechanism. So the thing's hanging down. The tow truck driver can't get it back up because he whacked it out with the impact wrench.
Make a long story short, he ruins the mechanism, $400 fix, and the dealer, when the guy brings the car back weeks later.
Oh, no, 2 days later.
No, but he said he was driving around a week, didn't he?
2 days.
However, he was driving around.
Yes.
The dealer cuts it off, cuts the cable off.
Because they can't get it back up. It's a road hazard.
And says you shouldn't be driving around like this. Now,
so when the insurance company from the tow truck who he's going after to fix it, they see that it's been, what did they call it? Modified? Not modified.
Tampered.
Tampered with because they cut it. Then all of a sudden they decline the claim.
But here's the bottom line. I don't think Peak View is automatically responsible.
Peak Kia.
But I do believe they're not doing enough. I believe that by the letter of the law, they're probably not responsible for that damage. Now, they got involved when they cut off the mechanism, but truly, what else were they going to do? If the guy was going to buy a new one, I don't know why they didn't just replace it right then. Why didn't they?
Because he was waiting for the money from the insurance company.
Yeah, the consumer did not want to repair it. He knew they were cutting it. They cut it. And now I think the insurance company, Mark, truly is just using it as an excuse.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, I mean, so you were trying to blame Peak, saying that they made it impossible for the insurance to pay because they tampered with it.
Well, that's true, and I agree with you. But they did give the insurance company an out, apparently.
Yeah,
that's the out.
They gave him an out, but the insurance company would have just denied it anyway.
So what would you have done? Now let's circle around. What would you have done? You're right there, right now.
They bring it back to your dealer. The carriage is broken. The insurance won't pay.
You guys cut the thing off.
Would you fix it?
Well, you guys cut the thing off. The company did that went out there. And so that everybody knows what you're talking about.
No. It was cut off at the dealership.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So when you say you guys, the dealership cut the cable to prevent it from dragging.
It's a $400 fix.
Well, it wasn't dragging because the guy drove it for a couple days, but it's almost on the ground.
It's a $400 fix. What would you do? It's silly to even
The part was, they charged him $180 for or $180 labor, and they charged him like $300 for the assembly.
They could have if anything, they could have done it at cost, but they charge them full retail for the repair.
And they're not helping them at all with Kia.
So the customer paid for the repair?
Paid for it. And now he's trying to get it back.
What would you have done?
Well, I'd have participated. I'd have figured something out. And that's where we started with fair. There's got to be some fair way to say, hey, look, let's do this. Let's work together.
Kevin Calkin, you do
it.
Exactly.
You talk to him.
What would you do it?
Well,
I want to know what you would do. Push comes to shove. The insurance won't do anything. What would you do?
If it was based on me cutting the cable, I would have replaced it.
Okay. Mark?
I would have done the same thing. Just whatever it takes to make the customer happy. For $400...
That's the point.
I'm done.
That was all retail.
I'm just going to fix it and keep the customer happy.
That's the point.
Exactly.
I've truly, I got to tell you.
He bought his tires. He bought the Kia from him. They lost a customer.
I think the dealer is handling this wrongly. And this is Car Day. This is what we're discussing. We'll take all of your calls right after this.
It's such a messed up situation.
It's I can't figure out for the life of me why they're being assholes about it. And the GM one. Well, I guess the GM has tried to call Daphne back, but we can't. It's always he's calling before we even show up in the morning, and he must leave early.
You know, if the customer's willing to pay full retail, he would be thrilled with 50%.
Oh, he would have never called us if they extended. Hey, you pay for the part, we'll handle the labor.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they charge them $1.80, so they're saying it's roughly what, an hour to put in. And if they've got a guy that's done them 100 times, it's what, 15 minutes.
Right.
And then
What cable is it anyway?
And then
It's the winch for the tire. That's what I was going to
it's usually under the license plate.
Yeah, it was hard to understand where they were going at first.
But he grabbed the tow truck driver, instead of grabbing it and doing this, puts his impact gun on it, and it goes all the way down and breaks, so it won't roll back up.
Oh, okay. And he really did that. What's the full cost?
No, under 40,000 miles on it.
And the tow truck driver's contracted through Kia?
Through the road hazard.
Through the road hazard. And why is the tow truck guy separate?
Well, they're saying that if they had to cut the cable...
They're saying because the dealership tampered
The
with
mechanism
it.
inside was already broken.
We saw the actual insurance decline letter. I have it somewhere. Put that back up, by the way. It actually says it was tampered with, so therefore we decline it. Because they cut the cable.
That's an out, that's bullshit.
Well, even if it is bullshit, but once again, it's definitely not one person's fault. Who's that? The customer.
Mark, let me ask you this. If they didn't cut the cable, they just tied the cable up.
Can you imagine you sold a car to him, then he came back to you for tires? For tires, not Discount Tire, not Alaramas, not Kevin, not Mark, came back to a dealership to buy tires, and then you screw him over. Hey, Kia, you fucking suck, thank you. He's lucky whatever. I'd spend 3 hours on these assholes, Tom. I can't stand these guys. I disagree with you.
No, he can.
I know.
What do you disagree with? I totally agree.
I think they're being complete jerks in every aspect. I think they should pay for it, and I think if it went to court because they cut it, they could very rightfully so be held legally fucking responsible.
Now that's where we disagree.
I know that's where we disagree.
Well, Mark, let me ask you this. If they didn't cut the cable on that mechanism for the spare tire, they just tied it up, was the mechanism that retracts the cable broken inside because he took an air gun to it? That's what they're saying.
What was that?
Oh, well, then that's his deal.
Ted? Oh, does he know what's going on with this stupid thing? Jesus, wait, Tom, we can't, just tell him on the air. Tell him on the air. Don't even tell him here.
This is for line one.
I can't believe it. Were you guys here when we had the classic car come in a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Were you here?
Yeah.
So,
Classic car?
wait till you hear, oh, it was, when I say original, I mean, they didn't even rebuild it original. It was like original. Mohair.
What year Packard? Like a 30?
So now we've got another classic car that somehow got here. So just tell Tom on the air.
What year Packard? Like a 36 or something like that?
I forgot what he said it was.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was something like that.
Yeah. Wasn't it beautiful?
Oh, what color? Black. I think it was original paint.
Everything was original.
Oh, wow. So I'll put this up. So is Pete Kia here or in the Springs?
I don't know where the hell they are.
Because if they're the ones that are in the Springs, I know. Oh, no, I think it's up here. I think it's up here.
Do they have one here?
That's what I want. That's what I want.
The caller lives in Denver, so I can't imagine it's the one in the Springs.
Because Pete Kia didn't have a great idea. There's one in Little.
How much do you think that is for, if it was a Dodge or whatever, what do you think that is selling?
Mechanism?
Costs you guys?
About 380, 300 bucks.
Yeah. You guys. Yeah.
Cost? Couple $100. Yeah. Not enough to worry.
They would have, I guarantee if they just would have said, hey, the part's $200, that's our cost, we're going to get it in for you. These tow people suck.
I mean, we do it all the time.
Yeah,
no, but it's
$1,000.
No doubt.
Well, especially if he's a good customer.
That's right.
We've already established that he spent $30,000 with
and
you.
he's not going anywhere else, like you said, not even
For tires. This guy's getting his oil changes done there, his brakes are going to be done there, everything's going to be done
there because he likes it, he's going, yeah.
He's probably like me and my Hyundais. I don't go to the dealer though, but I like the car. He's strapped in, he's going to the dealer.
Okay, you're going to have that in the email.
And honestly, I would too if it was close. I got nothing.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What a nice day it is today. We have Car Day today. Kevin Calkins with us. Sheridan Auto Tech, Andy Barella, Colorado Springs Dodge. Mark Machowski, Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. Let's go to the phones. Mark is just way pissed off at Peak Kia. I mean, he really is. More so than I've seen him in a while. And I'm not sure why, Mark. Now, I know they're being idiots about this, and I think they should do more to help the customer. I am with you.
I know you believe that.
But you are way... But this is bugging you a little more than usual.
Here's what kills me.
Why is that?
The guy bought something that could be up to $30,000 plus. He went back to a dealership to buy tires, okay? Most people have this idea dealerships cost more tires. I don't know if they do or don't anymore. But my whole thing is, over a part that probably was less than $200 their cost, they didn't offer to split it. They won't help them when it comes to dealing with Kia. They won't put pressure on the tow truck. I think they're idiots. Now, that's my opinion, but Pete Kia is being an idiot.
Okay.
How many people go to the dealer for oil changes, cars, tires? He's probably spent 20, 30, 40 grand with them.
Okay.
Who knows how many cars in there being stupid?
All right. We're doing a Facebook Live on what today, Suzanne? We're live on Facebook now and on YouTube, as we are every day, and also referralist.com. But what is this Facebook Live you just sprung on me?
So, Tom, I guess when I was on my girls' weekend, you guys were asking about classic cars and bringing them to the station.
I said if someone brought a cool car here, we would show it live,
and we bought him lunch.
We have somebody who thinks they have a cool car, and so Mark's going to go down and see if it's lunch worthy.
That's good. When are you going to do it?
I'll do it whenever.
Now, let's go to the phones. Okay, we got to get this done quickly. Christopher, welcome to the show.
Hi, is that me?
What's going on, Christopher?
Hi, first time calling in, been listening for a few months. Great show, by the way.
Thanks, man.
I have a question
Are you a new listener?
I started listening probably around February.
Okay, you're a new listener. You stay on the line afterwards. We're going to send you a T-shirt. Anyway, go ahead. What's going on?
Oh, thank you. So I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a 2014 Mazda CX-5 that I bought in 2013 from Mazda of Lakewood. Part of the deal with buying a vehicle there is that they offered lifetime free oil changes.
Yeah.
Which I've been
That's a
enjoying
brilliant
the past
thing.
4
That's
years.
a brilliant thing to do because people will go through steel and broken glass and fire to get to a free oil change. And you know what it does for the dealer? It gives them first shot at any extra repairs you might need here and there. So anyway, what happened?
Absolutely.
What happened? What was the name of the dealership?
Mazda of Lakewood.
Okay, Mazda of Lakewood. I want everyone to give their opinion on this because I have a feeling where you're going. You got free oil changes for life, but Mazda of Lakewood's not there anymore.
No, they just got bought out by McDonald Mazda.
Yes.
And I found out because I had a scheduled oil change on, I believe it was Wednesday.
Now, you want to talk about bonehead moves? What happened when you went for your free oil change?
So I showed up to the dealership. The lot is almost completely empty of cars. I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of odd. I pull up to the service garage, and there's a few employees still walking around, and one of them walks up to me and says, hey, we just got bought out by McDonald Mazda. We're closed. We're actually moving a couple of blocks down and reopening as McDonald Mazda West.
Sure.
And I said, okay. And he said, someone should have emailed or called you and said that your appointment was canceled.
So
and
what do you think? What do you think should have happened?
Well, obviously, I think Mazda Lakewood should have called me or did something.
Yeah, but they're going out of business. Here's the deal, okay? I want to give you the right and the wrong, and here's the deal. Okay. Lifetime means what? Lifetime warranty means what? Lifetime. What does it mean? It means lifetime of the company, even though no one says that. So these stupid 50-year warranties you hear these contractors say, I'm going to give you a 50-year warranty, I'm going to give you this, they're not going to give you anything if they're not around in 50 years.
But you're assuming it wasn't an asset purchase?
No, what I'm saying...
Or it was an asset
What
purchase.
I'm saying is that usually a lifetime means lifetime of the company. What Mark is talking about is you can buy a company out in two ways. You can buy the name and the assets, and you just buy it. Or you can buy the actual corporation. You assume the corporation. When you do that, you assume all of its liabilities and all of its assets everything. And all of its debt, all of its. But no one does that. I don't. I mean, unless it's a great corporation and you've done so much research, you're convinced, or you're an idiot, you don't do it. Usually, you simply buy the assets and even the name. But in this case, they may not even buy the name. So that's what you buy. Under the strictest legal sense, we had this with San Juan Pools. They had these 50-year warranties with these big fiberglass pools, and San Juan sold. And it was still called San Juan, still in the same place, still the same workers, still same. And the owner even stayed on as a consultant. And guess what? The people come in and say, sorry, you can't get warranty. Now, in your case, talk about bonehead. These freaking idiots.
They're nuts.
They could have given you a free oil change. They have a customer automatically built in that will come back to them every how many thousand miles. I mean, what idiots, I cannot even tell you. Plus, you're going to need a new car soon. I mean, what idiots.
Anytime I acquired a Goodyear back in the past, we would have warranties come up from whoever owned it before. We would take care of them just like we always had it. We'd own up to it, and I know these three people at the table would do the same thing.
Okay. I have a theme song that you know what, I gotta activate my sound effects once again, but hey, I don't have them ready. But I had a choir singing, "You are an idiot." Anyway, I'm getting my sound effects back, but this is really weird. Christopher, did they truly turn you away?
Well, I'll say this to McDonald's credit. The Mazda of Lakewood employee informed me that I needed to call McDonald to reschedule my oil change. The first time I called them, they said, well, sure, we'll get you in, but it'll be $59. And I said, I think not.
Well, you weren't thinking they owe you, were you?
No, I wasn't thinking they owed me, but they...
You mean you think not that you're not going to pay that much?
Right, exactly.
Anyway, how did it end up?
So anyway, when I first called them, they said, we've been getting some calls from...
I understand.
Customers.
Just tell me how it ended up.
Oh, sure. So they told me that they were not going to be honoring Mazda of Lakewood's lifetime oil changes.
And they don't. And they don't have to, right?
And they don't have to. Okay. And that's.
But you know they don't. You know they don't, Chris. I mean, why? They didn't make that deal with you. I mean,
but it's bonehead, like you said. They just
stupid.
lost you as a customer.
They could have made you happy.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of Mazda dealers around.
Am I saying they should take every single free oil change customer and do it for life? I don't know, but I know if somebody makes noise or is a little put out, they should have said, you know, sir, let's get you in here today. We'll straighten this out.
Well, and then to their credit, they did offer me one free oil change because of what happened Wednesday. So to their credit, they did offer me that.
Well, that's good then. Honestly,
but
that's good.
Okay. And listen,
can I ask them something? Do you actually get, like, if they do an oil change in the past and you needed brakes, do you buy brakes from them?
I haven't needed brakes, but I've gotten my tire rotation done at the same time. They usually send out coupons and stuff for that.
Have you spent any money with them is what I'm asking.
With who?
Oh,
with the old
absolutely.
company?
I've gone back to them several times. I've done work on my car.
By the way, do they have the records of the old buyers? Were your records with them?
I'm sure they got that. The database.
You know, I'm not sure.
All right, well, you got our answer. Yes and no. You know, they don't have to, but why not? Now, I don't expect them to take on hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt or, you know, I had a situation one time where Elway bought out the Mazda dealer on Arapahoe Road, and all of the vendors called me, and they said, this sucks because we're not getting paid for our pinstriping, our clear bras, our sunroofs, our paint protectant, our, you know, all of those extras that these guys come on the lot and do. They're independent vendors. And Elway, at the time, it wasn't him, his management group said, look, we're not responsible. We didn't contract for these services. And they were right. But you know what was really crappy? The guy that did, his name was Nelson something, they, the day or two before the sale, had all this work done. Like an extra, just a whole bunch of extra work done. And then they sell. But so you know, it didn't look good. And but that's really the way it is in business.
Let's, after break, I'm going to go down, check out this classic car. We'll do Facebook Live, but I'll also have you on another phone talking to you, and we'll see what we got down there and see if it's lunch-worthy.
303-713-TALK. More coming up.
You see that? It's going on. Is this somebody I don't want to buy lunch for or what?
I will tell you this. The person genuinely
I had a hard time
thinks it's a classic car and great shape.
Do you know what it is?
Let me look at it.
No, I mean, I don't know the exact thing.
This is what it is.
Don't do anything.
Don't say a word. You're not supposed to.
I'm supposed to
Find out exactly what
No, not yet.
You don't know what color it is.
times and everything. We can do that.
Don't say that. Hold on, just let me, don't let these guys.
They're called rotators. I just need to know your schedule.
I'll have the real
Kevin, anytime you need help, I'll help you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell, if you gotta sell, I'm gonna come down after the break. Is he in the car, in the lobby, where is he?
John doesn't know shit about
Okay.
what they know has to
No, fake news is up here. I can't believe what I'm telling you about.
They're great people, but I want to show you how to do it.
So Patriots just came there, right? New York Times put out this tweet. So this was
I know, that's why
up here in 2015.
That's why
This is what showed up in 2017.
Is that
It
not
was
true?
based on the response.
This includes all their staff, which was all around the
There's more
world.
problem.
This is-
I'm just saying that.
This is the player. So it was 36 versus 30.
I don't even
So
understand
it
why
really
it's
did help his work to get in there.
Well, because they tried to say that
I was burned out, I was.
Patriots
I
didn't
was
show
there.
up because Trump was in the
Copies
office.
made, you guys would walk in and they're kind of like.
No. Brady didn't show up last time either.
You know.
Oh, he did?
No.
The day's gotta get going, it's gotta get rolling.
But Brady didn't show up this time because his wife said, you better not, or you're not getting anything from me for a year.
You know.
All right, people, we're going live on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, switch over for a few minutes.
That I thought were getting done that weren't even close to getting done. Like, well, my workshop, I got a younger kid out there who's doing a really good job, but he got lazy. And one of my big vendors is a dealer.
What's that? No.
Back burner.
Oh, actually, we can
And
from,
he took them off the screen, so I couldn't have it. When I was-
Yeah, I just switched over there and put this on.
Just listen to this,
Ready to go.
it just completely shocked me because he was doing a great job, but something happened, I don't know
I
why.
can't believe you got yourself into that.
But yeah, but, you know,
This is the,
he's
you'll hear the story.
he is so
this.
serious. It's
It is.
the classic classic car guy.
You know, so we're gonna buy lunch if it's worthy.
If it's worthy.
Who makes that decision?
Tom will make that decision. All right, what time is this break going to take?
Thank you.
I think we can go live right now. Turn that down just for a second, Tom.
What number do you want us to call you on?
Right across the street.
All right, guys, we're live. We're in studio right now.
The prosthesis system.
I'm going to head down with Deputy Dan. We're going to get on his phone and call in. Call in, get Suzanne. We're going to go down. We're going to see if the classic car's worthy. If it's worthy and it's up to Tom 100%, we'll buy the guy lunch, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. You're with us live on Facebook.
800-499-7620 to learn more about an FDA-approved system that restores some vision for those blinded by RP. Call 800-499-7620. Call now. Argus 2 is indicated for use in patients with profound RP who are 25 years or older with bare light or no light perception in both eyes and who have a previous history of useful form vision. Patients may not be eligible due to certain ocular diseases, conditions, or structures that could prevent the Argus 2 from working, or a successful implantation or adequate healing from surgery, or the presence of a metallic or active implantable device in the head. Side effects include conjunctival erosion or dehiscence, endophthalmitis, hypotony, retinal detachment, and dislodgement of the retinal tack.
Investments in securities involves the risk of loss. The following is a far too common tale of investing in annuities. A successful couple invested a large portion of their savings in annuities, thinking they were a safe way to guarantee a dependable income stream no matter what the market did. But it didn't take long for them to regret their decision. They were locked into low returns, faced potential tax consequences, and that they couldn't get out of their annuities without paying huge penalties. They were stuck, and so was their money. Suddenly, their retirement hopes and dreams were in danger, but it didn't have to happen to them, and it doesn't have to happen to you. You can avoid the annuity trap. Here's one way. Get the free report, Annuity Insights, your guide to better understanding annuities, by calling 1-800-319-0009. Written by Forbes columnist and money manager Ken Fisher's firm. This powerful report could help save you from major financial heartache, and it's offered today for free. If you have an annuity or are considering one, claim your free annuities guide today. Hurry, free copies are limited. Call now. 1-800-319-0009. 1-800-319-0009.
Whatever happens while you're at work today, you'll hear all about it this afternoon with Michael Brown, beginning at 4 on Talk Radio 630, KHOW.
Are we still live on the other one too? Are we doing two, or is this the only live one, Dan? We're on the other one too? Okay, we're live on two feeds right now. Because Mark's going to take the other feed, the portable one, and we're going downstairs to check out this classic car. They're all giggles about it, but anyway, this guy brought a classic car, and I'm supposed to buy him lunch. 303-713-TALK, if it's a good classic car. Now listen, if it's not, I'm not buying lunch. It has nothing to do with the being a cheapskate. All right, Dominic's got a comment on Pete Kia. Go ahead.
Hey, you guys might have overlooked something.
What is that?
Who cut the cable? Pete Kia, right?
Yes.
Okay, he didn't have to cut the cable. All he had to do was fold it up and put a wire tie. The guy was too lazy.
Yeah. So what do you think, Dominic? Should Peak replace that for him?
Yes.
But they didn't do the original damage.
That's all right. Let him go back to the other guy and collect from them.
Okay, Dominic. You know, hey, Dominic's been in the car business. That's his opinion. Tom, what is your question about, sir?
Hey, real quick, I want to do a quick shout-out to Mark and his staff over at A1. Andy Scott, fantastic work, fantastic service, man. You got a customer
They're good
for life.
people. They are good people at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. So what's going on with you?
Well, here's my question, Tom. I called up last week, talked to Mark. I'm getting a barn built this spring, or I wanted to get a barn built. I'm in the permit process with Arapahoe County. And now it's transferred to I'm out in Bennett, and it's transferred to the Bennett Fire District, and they also have to approve the job as well.
Now,
specifically,
in many cases, what the police department, all the fire department has to look at is access. They want to make sure they can get a fire truck in there.
Well, and that is exactly what it is, Tom, because their requirement now, apparently starting this year, that if it's more than 65 feet from an access road, being specifically a road or driveway, I have to put in an engineered road, 20 feet wide, 6 foot deep.
All right, hold on just one second quick. I'm going to take you, but because that sounds ridiculous. But I want to go to Mark, who's live now on our other Facebook feed.
Okay,
And
I'm headed out the front. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you fine. So you're live. We're live. We're both live on Facebook. And
you know what this is.
I'm looking for your feed. There you are.
I want to see. I'm not going to tell you. We're going out, though. This is a true classic.
You're lagging behind the visual a bit than I'm hearing you here. But in any case, you're going out to look. Why are you laughing so much at this classic car?
It's ITED. It's ITED.
Okay, and you think for a minute I'm going to buy this guy lunch?
What year is this?
This will cancel out the lunch he owes me. Forget that.
Wait, hold on. This is the car that saved Chrysler. I'm going to put ITED on real quick to explain his
I see him. You don't have to put him on.
Well, okay, so
use the wide-angle lens.
1982 Dodge Aries. It's a beaut. It's an absolute beaut.
Well, that's not. Come on, I'm looking for a cool car, Mark.
You know what? I say you buy this guy lunch. Tom.
Yeah, right.
I got to tell you, this is a beautiful
This is what I call poetic justice. Do you know what that means? That means that the scales are now even.
This is beautiful. Listen, I'm going to have them up so you can buy them lunch.
No, don't bring them up. We're not buying them lunch. No, we're not.
I'm saying no lunch.
No, this cancels out the lunch that he slouched on.
Show. Wait. He's saying he's going to buy you lunch.
Now look, this is really is. No, seriously, this really is in good condition. What year is this?
I'll buy you lunch.
What year is this car?
1982.
1982. Can we see what's under the hood? Yeah.
No.
He wants to show us what's under the hood.
Mark, seriously, how many miles on that thing? Seriously.
How many miles are on it? I got to tell you, you're dead serious. This is a classic.
Does it look like new, Mark?
You're seriously getting collector. Yeah. You're getting collector. He's going to get collector.
But Mark, does it look? Is the video lying? It looks like new. Does it look like new?
Oh my God.
It's in pretty good condition, Tom.
Get under that hood so everybody can see this power.
Mark, would you get a close-up of the interior? I just want to see the interior, too. Yeah. All right. This is
the over here. Here, let me see it.
All right, get a close-up of the interior. I don't care about that. Engine compartment's fine.
Let me show you this bad boy. This thing's
what kind of is that a slant 6? No, isn't it? No.
It's actual mohair.
Okay, we're lagging here. But in any case, let me see. Okay, that's in good. It's not new. Okay, you see the camera light a little bit, but it's
got a cup holder.
It's nice. All right, but listen.
I mean, this is something. It's got push button heat.
Okay.
Push button heat.
All right, but we're looking at a Dodge Aries. Please, let's not take too much airtime here, Mark. Come on.
This is beautiful.
It's an Aries.
This is beautiful. He promised to buy us all lunch.
When I told I wanted, yeah, right. Okay, I put Mark on hold. When I told people I wanted a classic car, I'm thinking Packard or something cool. I'm thinking something.
You knew something was going on.
He comes with a Dodge Aries. Yeah. No, but you know you know why they were giggling? Because this is Ted's car. This kid who came to the station as a Mac expert offered to buy us all lunch.
I was here that day.
And then at the last minute said he didn't have any money, and I had to pop with the credit card. And that was the joke. 303-713-8255. JC needs advice on a rental car. Go ahead. Oh, no, I'm sorry, JC. Hold on. Let me finish up with Tom. Hey, Tom, this access road that they're requiring, okay?
Yeah.
It sucks because it's happening to everyone, and it's not just Bennett. It's not just one county or another. They're all doing it. And, however, some fire departments are a little more strict than others. So they're saying you have to basically put in a 2-lane highway.
Basically 20 feet wide, 6 inches deep with special type of road grade road rock.
Are you kidding me? Or you cannot build a barn?
Absolutely. Well, and that's my question, Tom. That's why I'm calling you. What I talked to with my contractor was, you know, if they're sticklers and worse comes to worse and they get me in a corner, then yeah, I'm going to have to do it. But can he go ahead and apply for the permit saying that the homeowner's responsibility will be to build that road?
No, they won't grant you the permit.
That's what I thought.
You see, when I developed...
Are they concurrent? One has to approve the other, right?
When I developed subdivisions in the day, I had to go and get all the approvals. And part of the approval was the fire department. And they wanted to make sure they had access. And they had to have access to each lot, and they had to have access in and out of the subdivision. And I used to do some gated communities, and I didn't like the idea of having to put in open access on the back end. So we had to do these one-way gates that are breakaway gates, they're called, in the event of a fire. It was a pain. Now, on regular subdivision, we had to make sure not just that the subdivision had access, but every house. That was way back, like 20 more years ago. This, what you're talking about, is new. You're telling, this is interesting. So you're telling me that if it's more than 50 feet off a road or 55 feet, you have to build an access road.
Correct.
Holy
to
crap.
their specification. And it's got to meet international fire code.
And then they have to have a turnaround as well.
Absolutely. That's the last thing I was going to tell you.
A turnaround.
It's got to be a 100-foot turnaround. If it exceeds 100 and some odd feet.
Think about that. Think about that. Unbelievable. What will that add? What will that add to the cost of your project at 6 inches deep? Come on.
I've got two estimates, one at $18,000, one at $22,000.
No. That's way more than that. How the hell can you get a 50-foot road?
Yeah. Well, the actual road is going to be about $20,000 or 20. It's about 200 feet that I would have to put in.
Wait. So you're saying 200 feet times 20 feet wide?
Correct, and 6 inches deep.
Well, that is 4,000 square feet, 6 inches deep, and you're telling me you can get that done for 20 grand?
Well, that's one bid, and I don't know the legitimacy of this contractor, but I mean the road contractor.
Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of money to me.
Well, it could be a deal killer on my end.
That's just getting the damn thing paved, but building the road? Come on, man. It's going to cost you more than 20 grand.
I would think. Yeah.
I'm looking. I've done roads. I'm thinking 40 to 60.
Well, and this is just going to be a gravel. It's just gravel. I live on a farm. So
gravel.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, forget it. I thought they were requiring pavement.
No. Might as well be.
God. Listen, I wonder. Listen, all I can do, Tom, is tell you that they probably will withhold the building permit. Now, you might be able to do some alternatives. That is fire suppression or a hydrant of some kind or something like that. Ask them if there are any workarounds, because sometimes you're able to work around if you are willing to add something. Okay? So ask them about fire protection. 303-713-TALK. I got to take this break. JC, rental car problems coming up.
Okay, so I spoke to Scott, and he said, yeah, when we were in Long Beach,
he's gone.
There was...
Oh, yeah. I had no idea about this till today.
So, Mark, I just spoke to Scott, telling about we had customer complaints about that digital advertising thing that we're not getting back to them. Tell me what was going on with that. Which ones did we miss? We dropped
I just got to go pull them back.
He said, Mark,
I'm not worried about which ones. What I'm worried about is that we had them.
Okay, so when Scott and I were at Long Beach, yes, that's when that happened, but Scott specifically told me, Mark, for the last 2 months, we haven't gotten anything.
Well, we haven't done it.
We only ran it 2 weeks.
Oh.
It ran 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
The total number was 6 people that signed up, and I think 2 ended up down there. It was either for a free hour diagnostic or half off a transmission.
I suspect, and that's why we're going to be doing direct response from now on. I suspect the phone rang.
Here's the other thing.
I suspect.
This just happened last week. I did a deal for Rockies, and I don't care if they're listening or not. I did the same thing. They wanted to sell a particular Mercedes. It was $5,900. It looked pretty good. I had 3 things come through. They didn't call one of them back. So I just pulled it down. I said, I'm done. So, it's almost like I got to go out and train everybody
Well, let me tell you something.
how to respond when it comes in.
With digital response, you better get back to people in 30 minutes. Or don't do it.
Well, because they want it right now. Because what the ad says is, what Rocky said last week was free Carfax on this right now. Just fill this out, and it's phone number and name. What would happen is the email and whatever text number I have, it does a text and it rings email. They turn around, they hit on it, and they call that customer back right now. Hey, you want more information on this? Yours was the same way. We see you wanted more information on the free hour diagnostic. The whole thing they were doing was to set an appointment. I didn't have your phone number there, so I could track it. I purposely don't have phone numbers there. So they fill in the information, and then it's almost like Amazon. If you ever called Amazon tech support, you want them to call you back instantly, and that's how it's supposed to work. But that's how we track it, Mark. I have no other way of tracking a digital campaign.
It's been right in our.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing I don't like about Duran's coming up. We got to rethink.
1 hour and 0 dealer.
But definitely, I know for a fact in a 6 or 7 day period, 5 people responded, and there was one more. And when I would talk to, who was there? Who was there when you and Scott were talking? Wes. I reminded him, when I get him in, I call and remind him when I see him. And he goes, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting I'm not used to checking email all the time. Which I understand, he's not used to checking email all the time.
He says this is a car that saved.
You get your emails on your phone?
K cars, all the all the K cars. Yeah.
So you can check and see if
The original K car. He said it wasn't the.
And those emails, Mark, honestly, whatever email you guys gave me to give to him, all you got to do is go back and look, and you'll see the emails coming. So I mean, it's simple as that. But one of them, he said, oh, let me go call him right now. It'd been 3 hours, he couldn't get through to the guy. The next day, we had the same type thing. You know, so, but people really are expecting, the ad actually is creating, if it's inside normal business hours, they're going to call you right back to schedule an appointment for that. So when they don't hear back from someone till that, 3 hours later or the next day, they're already pissed. I mean, or they're thinking, oh, this was all bullshit.
I went somewhere else, yeah.
So, I mean, that's how those transpire. But it's not just, let me tell you, it's not just the one I ran on you. Like I just said, Rockies. And I spent time explaining to them how it works. Not even the first hour the campaign went, this guy wanted information, wanted the Carfax, and you don't go through filling this information out unless you want it. There's no reason. There's no reason someone would go, oh, I'm going to play with it. There's no reason. They're wasting their own time for nothing. And they didn't even call them back till the next day. So I'm like, oh, my God. I don't know. They're hard. It's a new deal. Plumline was easy, and the reason Plumline was easy is they have a 24-hour call center. So there's someone always right there on the text. The second they come in, they'd be back with you in about 30 seconds. So, but not everybody's got a call center. In fact, most people don't.
Today, it's Free Movie Friday thanks to Adam.
But what's cool about this product, guys, like for Rockies, I go, okay, who's going to buy? Flip that over. Flip that one.
From Adam Tickets and Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
You miss me? I miss all of y'all. All y'all girls standing together like that. I can't take it.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, let's keep going. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay. Let's talk to JC with a rental car problem. Go ahead, JC.
Hey, thanks for taking my call,
Yes,
Tom.
sir. What's going on with you?
Well, in March, I was run into by a driver and $8,000 plus damage to my car. Their insurance company gave me a rental car. When I went to in the neighborhood, a softball hit on a baseball diamond hit the headlight, knocked a hole in the headlight. So now the insurance company or the rental company has already taken my $500 deductible out of my credit card that was on the account.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And now they're wanting to charge me another $50 because it costs $550 to replace a headlight.
Well, okay, so your insurance, they didn't put it into your insurance?
I didn't turn it into the insurance.
Okay. Well, then you just have to pay for it. But why would you think you're not responsible?
Well, I wouldn't be driving that car if they hadn't hit me in the first place.
So you're saying then anything that happens in the course of using that car is going to be someone else's fault?
Well, not exactly. If I was negligent, yes. But
well, JC, they weren't negligent. The rental car company wasn't negligent. I mean, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but I'm telling you, you're never going to get out of this. And it's absolutely not the person who ran into you's problem. I mean, if you were driving any car, that would have happened. It's not because you were driving that car. Now, I will grant you that if it was because you were driving that car, you would have an argument. But the idea of saying, had I not been driving this car, I mean, I'm only driving this car because of this or that or the other thing, and they ran into me. So your logic is they ran into you, that made you drive that car, the ball hit that car, it damaged that car, therefore the people who made you drive that car should be responsible for the damage to that car. Let's take away the accident. You would have been driving your own car. Okay.
And I would have repaired it with the $200 headlight that I could get online. It's $112. I can get that same headlight, and I could repair it.
Okay. Well, you know, then
pay the $450 more.
Well, I don't even understand a $550. Okay, is it an old car? Is it a new car? I mean,
no, it's 2015, I think.
Okay, so that's reasonable. And you know, you would have repaired it cheaper. So your argument is it's costing you an extra $300 because it's a rental car.
Yeah, I'm a tightwad.
Yeah. No, and listen, JC, I understand what you're doing, but man, seriously, do you really believe it's their fault, the people who hit you?
You say it. I mean, you're all over it. Okay.
I mean, I'm not against you. It's just that I can't make that argument. I mean, if that car, if somebody come up and hit, you know, it's just you understand. And does everyone understand? I mean, you can't always follow that logic.
Well, it's pretty hard to say there was an accident, and that accident caused you not to show up to meet a certain client that you could have had $1 million sale on. You think that insurance company is going to pay for that?
No.
And everybody else that was late for work and blah, blah.
You also have to remember, when you rent a car, they ask you, do you or do you not want a damage waiver?
Right.
That's $17, $18 a day.
Right.
You have a choice.
Now, Suzanne, what did you whisper in my ear?
Well, Tom, I put the information on line 6, but we just have a senior citizen who can't drive anymore, and this 2000 Toyota Camry has only 26,000 miles on it.
Oh, my goodness. Only 26,000 miles?
And it's in great condition.
So
it's a six-cylinder.
We're talking about a 17-year-old car.
Yeah.
With 26,000 miles.
Yes, she did not drive it much.
You think we can believe her? Little old lady from where? Okay.
Pasadena?
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so we're talking an average of 1,500 miles a year. And it's a Toyota Camry.
Church and back.
That's like listen to this. That's like a brand new Toyota. $5,000. $5,000. I would buy, if I needed a car, I'd buy it right now. $5,000.
Yeah.
How might get it for Suzanne?
Oh,
no,
please.
No. Seriously, folks. Does she know anything about it? The package. Is it what? What package is it? What model Toyota Camry? And why?
I'm not sure, Tom. I'll have to look. Hang on.
She's just a listener who called
Most
in.
of the six-cylinders are pretty well loaded.
That's a nice little car. And wait, seriously, she wants $5,000. It's in essence like a new Toyota. I mean, it's a 2000. So, folks, live at troubleshooter.com if you're interested. $5,000 for a Toyota with only 26,000 miles on it. It's a 2000 six-cylinder. We'll find out more if you want. But if you want to find out about it, live at troubleshooter.com. We have a lot to talk about. Hal, stay on the line about that building. I would love to talk about that fire access for a barn and why the guy is being held up and more. Coming up.
Mark, come over here. I want to show you this.
Mark, I forgot to ask you, too, that car that was towed over.
Oh, yeah, I want to get it, not ship-shape by any means, but bare minimum on safety. We're going to give it to somebody. So pad slap if it needs it, whatever, we'll pay it, but just bare minimum. What's it look like? What sucks is it's a freaking standard, so that limits who we can give it to.
It's a standard, the clutch is weak, the paint's peeling on it.
Will the clutch last a little bit, though?
I didn't know if you had somebody in mind to give it to or something.
No, we don't yet. It's just
It says there's an engine light on too.
Yeah, those are.
It says it needs an oil change. That's the only thing.
Is it a truck?
No, it's a four-cylinder.
So it's top of the line like that Aries. You should see the video I got on him at the end. I said, now, Ted, this was all a joke, right? No, man, how many do you see on the roads? I got collector's plates ordered. He is as serious gets.
Well, how many have you seen on the road like that?
Who is serious? I did.
He thinks it's
he ordered classic. No, it's absolutely junk. I looked it up on Blue Book. It's a $600 car.
600.
Sell it by the pound.
But how many miles on it?
I didn't even look. I have no idea.
I see the camera made it look really good.
He was so dead serious, Tom, it was freaky, man.
Oh, that's collectors. That's how they are.
I gave him your home address, said you're making him dinner tonight.
He is.
I still.
Like
Did he tell you about the lunch with this guy?
Why did you get your mom with you?
One of my favorite stories ever.
That's what he means. LE, XLE.
I think it's an LE. I couldn't quite understand. But what do I do when Mark Machowski is buying it, wants to buy it, and other folks are calling in to buy it?
Oh, cool. So
Just give them the number and let them all duke it out?
I have ideas what market is at $5,000.
Oh.
But I don't know. You tell me. Color.
What are you talking about?
I'm just kidding around.
Am I missing it?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I have a listener, Mike, who's like, I want to buy that car.
Buy that car for $5,000.
Oh, he does, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did you call him?
Yeah, I just left a message. That's weird.
Let's see here. Tim wants you to take off your shirt still, by the way, on Facebook.
How's Rolly doing? Just asking.
From my con, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen Rolly for
He hasn't been around?
ever.
He's on my con.
Yes. You want me to turn it off?
Yes.
Surrounding parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas today, and in Oklahoma City, there's been extreme flooding in some areas. Now, people are also being warned to expect the possibility of hail, maybe even tornadoes. The system is expected to roll through much of the South through the weekend. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by Carrabba's Italian Grill.
Showers likely today. Look for a high of 46. Tonight, mostly cloudy and a low of 34. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 57. Sunday, sunny and a high in the mid-70s.
To celebrate 25% larger portions of Carrabba's signature pastas with made-from-scratch sauce, when you buy any spaghetti entree, they're giving you a free spaghetti and meatballs to take home. So head to Carrabba's now through April 30th and get pasta today and pasta tomorrow.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops at wholesale prices, you need to call Art of Granite. When they remodel your kitchen, they'll do your bathroom vanity for free. Call them at 303-386-5919 or online at artofgranite.net.
Are you retired or planning for retirement? Retirees can have lots of financial questions and need to make lots of decisions, and you want to get them right. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, every Saturday on 630 KHOW. You're invited to attend my free retirement classes this Saturday morning, April 22nd. The first class, Managing Taxes During Your Retirement. Taxes could be your largest expense in retirement. What can you do to reduce those? And the second class, 7 Retirement Threats and Mistakes to Avoid. You don't want to outlive your money. In these classes, we'll identify important concepts and questions you need to consider to help you make the right decisions for your financial future. Seats are limited, so enroll now. And see you this Saturday morning, April 22nd. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com. Or call 720-488-8604.
Spring is finally here.
Time to roll down your windows and crank up your tunes. But if your car's stereo system isn't as ready as you are to enjoy this awesome weather,
It's time to go see your friends at Quality Auto Sound.
our friendly, knowledgeable staff is standing by, ready to save you money and help get your tunes ready for springtime cranking.
Hicker's 10-inch 200-watt bass system will make any vehicle sound better. Now just $199.
And this all Kenwood complete system will blow minds, both by how good it sounds and how low it's priced.
You get Kenwood's top-selling AM/FM CD with HD radio, door speakers, and Kenwood's 12-inch 250-watt bass system.
All for just $399 installed.
Everything from Alpine, Pioneer, and JL Audio is priced right and ready to make your springtime driving the most enjoyable ever.
Only at Quality Auto Sound. See our ad in the Westward and check out QualityAutoSound.com for special web-only coupons and the location nearest you.
Consumers Real Estate Show. That's right, a real estate show for consumers. All inside information to help you, the consumer. Every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 630 KHOW. The Consumers Real Estate Show, Saturday mornings at 8 on 630 KHOW.
Hail and severe storm season is here, and that's why you need to call Golden Spike Roofing. If you think you have damage, call Golden Spike at 303-942-1386 for a thorough and free inspection. For roofing done right to the last nail, call Golden Spike Roofing.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Napa know-how.
Why buy the dual cam sports action and dash camera from Napa for $69.99? Because it's the only dash cam that's also an everything else cam. So you can record yourself being safe on the road or attach it to your helmet for dirt biking off-road. Because like this camera, you're a double threat. The dual cam sports action and dash camera for only $69.99. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 4/30/17.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life and how can we help you? It's Car Day today. Welcome to Car Day, by the way. We have some experts here. I'll be introducing them as we go along. And I'm going to go to the phones. I'm going to zip through these calls. Meanwhile, I want to tell you we're live at Troubleshooter.com and live at Referralist.com and also Facebook and YouTube. All right? So, let's get going and see what we can do for you. Now, we had one problem first hour. A guy wanted to build a barn, but it was more than 55 feet away from his house. Or, no, excuse me, more than 55 feet off of a road. So, in order to get his building permit, he had to get fire department approval, and they required him to put in a road. The road has to be 20 feet wide, and it has to be 6 inches deep. This could add a lot of money to his project.
Did you have to deal with that when you would do developments?
Yes, every time, with access to each lot and each house and each and the roads.
Would you have to pay for the infrastructure of the fire hydrants as well?
Yes.
Everything.
Yep, and then they have to approve it. Now, they don't always require hydrants, but some of the houses in the country, if they're a certain size, need fire suppression systems. They're getting way stricter when it comes to fire protection. They do grandfather your homes, of course, but if you build new, you got a problem. Hal, you have a comment on this. Go ahead, Hal.
Yeah, just built a new house here, and
where's here? Where's here, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, here in Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in fact, at the house right now, and yeah, any of the houses up to, as long as it's under 500 feet to the house from the side of the road, down to the over 55 feet, you said, the road's got to be 20 feet wide. I've got that grade 6 or better dirt. I've got recycled asphalt now.
Yeah.
And a 96-foot turnaround. There's a gentleman across the road from me that's going to be building. He got like 35 acres. And since his house is over 500 feet in from, you know, where they're going to count where the road is, because they count from the bottom of your turnabout, actually, so you got a little leeway. Because my road's 300 feet long, 100-foot diameter turnaround, about 50 foot of landscaping to the house.
I understand. Go ahead then. What is your point?
If you have to build and it's over that, then the road has to be 26 feet wide, and in the middle of the road there has to be a turnabout. I guess in case the fire department changes their mind or something. But all they do, they cross the fields whenever there's a fire here. They go straight across.
Anyway, you had to do it, right?
Yep, had to do it. Also had to have the fire suppression system in the house. That was another. The road itself was $12,000 total. The fire suppression system inside the house is $18,000, and it's got a 300-gallon tank in the basement, totally dedicated to nothing but the fire suppression system. And there's a fire alarm on the outside of the house, kind of like what you see on, you know, the outside of like a school building or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make sure they can see where the flames are or something. But yeah, so that all was added in, and it's mandatory required. The state or the county passed that about it. It'd be 2 years ago.
Yeah, we don't really. I mean, I appreciate it, but we don't really need all that. I mean, the bottom line is he has to do it. I mean, that's it. So I don't know what we can add to this, but you know, Mark, was there something you wanted to say, sir? Mark is with Renovation Consulting. He's on a referral list, and he does consulting for people doing their own projects or people having projects done. Did you want to add something to this, Mark?
Yeah, Tom, thanks for adding me in here. Yeah, basically the guy's getting away pretty inexpensively. He's just having to put down gravel. If he had to put down sub base, you're talking another $12,000 on top.
Well, he just has to do grade 6. What is your comment on that?
Well, then why not just move the barn closer to the entrance for the house? I mean, we're talking about location. Let's solve the problem. Move the barn someplace else and make it easier.
Actually, that's an excellent idea. I mean, maybe he can move it just a few feet. Like, what does it have to be, I guess? I wonder what the requirement is. If he moves it closer than 50 feet, he doesn't have to do the road at all?
Well, you have to have a road to your house, right? So that's going to be governed by the same rules.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me ask him. Oh, Al hung up. I was going to ask that guy that just called in. Okay, well, listen. I got to tell you, that's a cool idea. I mean, really, I wonder if he moved the house. The original caller, if you're still listening, can you move the barn a little closer, and would that negate the need for a whole road? I mean, that's called thinking outside the box, right? Thank you, Hal. Not Hal, but I'm sorry for excuse me. Yeah, Renovation Consultant. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We often are confronted with all kinds of obstacles, and sometimes it's just a simple little fix. Let's talk to Frank. Frank, go ahead, Frank.
Hi.
What's going on, man?
I've got a 2004 Astro van, and the brake and ABS lights stay on all the time. And I've gotten a couple estimates to have it repaired, which have varied from $50 to $2,000.
Wait, no. $50 to $2,000?
Yes.
Take the $50 one. Come on.
But they won't guarantee that it'll fix it. It's just a shot in the dark.
But wait a minute, Frank.
Tell
me what's wrong.
I did the $50 one, and it didn't fix it.
And did you get your $50 back?
No.
What did he do for $50?
I can't remember. He replaced something on one of the front wheels.
What made him think it was that?
They just have a list of things, and this, it's
yeah.
Hunt and find. It's not.
Yeah.
The computer, they tell me, will not pinpoint.
I know what you're saying. Anyway, guys, what do you think, guys? So hold on. As we know right now, you have an ABS light. That's it, period, right?
I have a brake and ABS light that are on all the time.
Okay, I want to ask you another question. Have you taken and tested your ABS?
I don't know what you mean.
You go and you drive and stop really quickly with steady pressure to see if it pulsates.
No, I have not, but they tell me that it's not working.
Okay. Now, did anyone put a computer on it?
Yes.
And they came up with a bunch of codes?
I guess they did. They didn't tell me specifically what they came up with. They just told me there was
well, like the guy for
wheel that was defective.
The guy for $2,000. What did he say he would do?
He won't even guarantee it then that it will work. And the horror story is I went to one place that talked to them about fixing it, and the salesperson was kind enough to say that he had a friend who had the same issue. Spent the $2,000, did not fix the problem, so he's just driving it the way it is.
Well, that's ridiculous. Come on. What morons are you guys dealing with?
And
You go to any one of these shops.
Why this is not a recall factor.
Well, first of all, things go wrong. It's an 04. Why should it be a recall just because something goes wrong?
Because it's a safety issue, is it not? If it's
so
the ABS,
you're telling me.
right?
So you're telling me anytime something goes wrong with a car.
No, I'm not saying anytime. I'm saying when there's a safety-related issue.
Frank.
It ought to be a recall factor.
Frank, I disagree with you.
So when your brake pads get low,
so you're telling, that's what I'm asking you. Are you seriously saying if you have a car for 12 years, you have a 13 years, an Astro Chevy van, 13 years old, if something goes wrong in a safety system, anything that goes wrong should be a recall?
Yes.
Okay,
I have
Frank,
heard that.
do you understand that things break and wear out? But you're saying if it has anything to do with safety, we should have an eternal recall. There should never be a dime spent on it.
No,
What are you saying? It should be a recall, Frank? Because it's not happening. It's not, Frank. It's not happening.
Advise me as to what to do with it.
Frank, no, I'm not going to. There, I'm not going to, because what you're saying is absurd. Yes, tell them where to get it. I was just kidding. Tell them where to get it fixed. You go to a repair shop, they put a computer on it, then they troubleshoot it, then they fix it. Is that it?
That's exactly it, and you warranty your repairs.
Okay.
Every repair we do, we warranty.
Okay, so what would you do? You take it to a shop.
You scan it.
They scan it. You come up with the codes. You investigate the codes, and you repair it.
Yes.
Okay. There, Frank. Okay, now I swear to you,
so you don't think safety issues should be covered?
No. Here's the deal. I get such asinine comments sometimes that they put up a roadblock for me. But he had a very simple question, and we answered it. How do you fix it, Frank? Okay, I want to respect your call and your question. You go to a shop, they put it on a computer, they then are directed to a certain number of codes, they check them out and fix it. Mark, is that exactly what they do?
That's exactly correct.
Okay, did you get that, Frank? Now, any one of these guys can do that. Any one of them, Frank. So,
what guys?
Any of the guys at Sheridan Auto Tech, A1 Transmission and Auto
What part of town are you in, Frank?
Where are you?
In Colorado Springs.
Okay, Colorado Springs Dodge, also Honest, Accurate Auto. Look at the referral list. They will, honest to goodness, Frank, it's that easy. They hook up the computer, it gives them codes, they go to the system, and they fix it. The point I was trying to make is things wear out and things go wrong, even in safety systems. It's not happening to every 04 Astro Chevy van out there. Okay? So you don't have a recall because Frank has a defect in his brake system. Things go wrong. Safety belt mechanisms go wrong. Airbags go wrong. Brakes go wrong. Suspension goes wrong. All of these could be safety items. Steering linkages go wrong. But you can't have recalls just because something goes wrong.
The car would cost you $200,000 to buy.
I mean, he said this should be a recall because he has a defect in his brake system. Now, if it was a defect that came out of the factory that way, and it was on every single 04 Chevy van, you are absolutely correct. There. Am I saying that correctly? Sometimes I feel like I'm banging my head up against the wall. Tom, you're the original caller about the barn with the truck and the... Did you hear what our construction consultant...
Yeah, no, I didn't. That makes total sense. But logistically, I can't due to the property line. And also, to get it to meet that requirement of, it's actually 65 feet, is the barn cannot be in front of the residential property. An outbuilding can't be in front of...
Okay.
On the front side. So
I understand.
It's got to be on the side or back. So I'm in a pickle. I appreciate all the input.
Well, Tom, thank you. If we get any others, we'll pass them on to you. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is a place to go for your garage door needs, all of them, including giant barns. They have some really big garage doors. Here's the great part about them. If you go to their website, all of their prices are clearly disclosed. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They're great people. And I say that because in the garage door business right now, there are a lot of clowns out there. Chappie runs a great business, 303-565-6409.
They are. I didn't know a garage door could be that quiet.
There you go. Oh, my God. I had to look to see that. I have never heard a quiet door in my life.
It's amazing.
A lot of cars on the all.
Oh my God! There was like
that's cool.
20 or 30.
Got a bidding war going.
Mark was trying to snag it, but it's going to be first come, first serve.
Yeah, somebody's probably there already.
If you're selling something and someone shows up with cash, you don't wait, Jack.
That thing's been sitting a long time. I wonder if it's been sitting outside.
No, but you can have seals, you can have dried out gaskets, things like that. But
Yeah, nothing.
but that's normal maintenance on a car
Nothing
anyway.
a can
Cameras are good.
MOA roof things, right?
Yeah.
Little sawdust. It was
Go to the
okay.
Wall of Shame at AutoZone, buy an additive and throw it in.
That's right. They got this stuff they sell now that says guaranteed to pass.
Yep. Head gasket.
It's like 49. Oh, that's liquid glass, baby.
Yeah.
And it's a standard transmission.
I put like 4 quarts of liquid gas in an old Honda one time. I got to tell you,
Seal it up.
it didn't. No, it didn't do shit.
No, well, that'd be blown good.
You see, I found a car that just looks almost like the one out there, Mark. Dude. It really does look just like it. It's like the two-tone brown. This is a classic. Did you call on the Camry?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get through?
I left a message for him. What was it, an old lady? I didn't even hear who was selling it.
It was a six-cylinder, right? Yeah, it was a 4, because they had 4s back then, too.
Yeah, V6.
That's a decent motor.
We got one.
That's not what a dealer does.
A low mileage car. I only had 60,000, but they totaled it. So I've been looking for another body, a decent looking body. So I'm just taking
hard to get.
engine tranny, boom, 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 put it in that car, boom, we're done.
You called the show badass.
Yes, I know.
I can't believe Mark is about making mad over fake news.
People scamming on what's your computer. And
Upset you about it.
They called her and tried to get in.
Weird times
She
with the tweet.
she said she fell for it once. I
You see
think.
that?
Yeah.
They put it out
Oh,
between,
right.
put this out, 2005,
Absolutely.
15, when the Patriots went there.
Uh-huh.
And
Look
they
at all
put
the people.
Look at all the people. And then they put this out when they come to see Trump.
So they're saying, look, Trump can't even get people to the White House. But
Really
here's the
really hard.
difference.
She's on different medication.
In this
now.
one, only the players are invited. In this one, all the back office.
There's 40 coaches in back.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
It's a month or so.
Right, but they didn't put that out in the tweet.
Of course not.
Well, that Aaron Hernandez was 2 days before.
And he wasn't in there.
Well, that's true too.
No, but
I don't
just-
see him anywhere.
He's
in the back like this.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's
Well, my God, come on.
But
He had a $40 million deal and he's out gangbanging. Is there anywhere in the world this makes sense?
money doesn't grow brains.
That's true.
You know.
And it doesn't change old habits.
His first action when he went to Florida State as a freshman, he punched a guy in the bar and damaged his eardrum.
Well, the guy probably didn't say
Hernandez.
Oh. They put him on disciplinary action at one point, right? And almost got rid of him. And then,
that could have been.
then he got better.
So.
Yeah, but just because they have money, they're still 23, 24-year-old kids.
Oh yeah, he was.
And how old
You
was
know.
he when he?
Yeah, but I wasn't walking around shooting people in the head at 23, 24.
Yeah,
He was.
Yeah.
You're absolutely-
Wow. And he did that in jail.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had these teardrops and stuff, you know?
No, I didn't see those.
God, he must be really hurting to do that.
Yeah.
God.
He was probably the top 3 tight ends.
Oh my God, Mark had a $40 million 5-year extension.
Wow.
Okay, so
Gronkowski was what a fair. What a fair.
God almighty. Life shouldn't be this hard.
What is it? Is it WordPress?
bought in this
Just somebody give me login credentials. I need to get into the site.
Oh. What did they say, Dan?
.com. I guess maybe it's just
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, no.
So,
It's not working.
very defensive. This is the first I'm hearing about it. No. And then these are his words. No control over anything. It's all Kia corporate. And I said, well, you guys, I said, Pete Kia of Littleton is the one that's being discussed on the radio. And he finally, after 10 minutes of ranting, he goes, well, I'm going to take care of it. You know, I didn't know. And so he said, I'm going to handle it. I said, okay, whatever that means, just know that I am in contact with the owner, with Mark, and I said, and all of this has been sent.
Did she call him Mark right now or what?
He said yes.
Let us know that. I don't want to say it till he actually writes him a
I
check.
called Mark and told Mark to tell me.
Woke up cold one Tuesday. I'm looking tired and feeling quite sick. I felt like there was something missing in my day-to-day life. So I quickly opened the wardrobe.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, and how can we help you? That's what I ask every day. Hey, Century RV, if you need an RV, Century is at I-25 and the 119 turnoff, new and used RVs, and a service department as well. 303-453-1111. 453-1111. RVs are fun. They're fun, but they're a lot of work sometimes, you know? But it's good that there's a service department up there. It's hard to get them in regular bays. Hey, Matt, he wants to follow up a problem. And do you remember this problem? I want to just recap it quickly. He had a Mercedes.
Oh, yeah.
He has a Mercedes Sprinter van, and it has a turbo. And the guys rebuilt the turbo, and they did not evacuate all of the oil out of the intake manifold. So when they started it up, they got a runaway diesel, which burned up the engine.
I want to apologize to Matt, by the way. He fell off my radar. If these guys still haven't done anything, I got to tell you, I'm going to head down to Colorado Springs next week. I'll get this piece of crap shop, in my opinion, on live Facebook, and I want to do something for this guy. I'm hoping he's got a good update. I dropped the ball on this one.
Now, I checked with every expert I know, and every one of them said, when you do this turbo work, you must make absolutely sure you clean out the intake, or it could run away. So, Matt, it seems like the installation is responsible for what happened to you. So what's going on?
Oh, yeah, Tom. I had it towed to the Mercedes dealer in Littleton, and they did write up a thing, but not only, they found metal in all the hoses, chunks of my old impeller in the intercooler, and even the new turbo that they installed, the impeller blades on that are all chipped up and banged up, and the dealership says that is no good because metal went through the system. They believe he didn't bother to even clean out the system of metal when they put on the new turbo.
Why are we going over this again? We understand. We agree.
He's just saying now he's got a Mercedes dealer saying there'll be a witness. We're going to have to go. We're going to have to subpoena him.
What is the name of the shop? What is the name of the shop? Just flat out refusing to do the right thing.
It's Springs Auto and Truck Service.
Andy, have you heard of these guys down in Colorado Springs?
We've gotten a lot of negative comments since they've been on the air.
Yeah, I've heard of them, and it's interesting because I haven't heard anything negative, nothing like this at all of that company.
Well, you guys used to build Sprinters. I mean, Dodge and the Mercedes Sprinters were the same.
We were a Sprinter dealer.
And when your guys would do turbos, is this common? Is there any way this isn't their issue? If this guy's not lying.
If the system was contaminated, they should have cleaned the system, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because before we didn't know that the new turbo was bad. I thought it was probably good, but it's
Andy,
not.
they're saying
so he's looking at an engine and a turbo now.
Andy is saying that if it's contaminated, our installers say you always do it. Whether it's, you always assume that when you're going to start up a diesel and you take the turbo off, that you start with a clean intake, or otherwise you could end up with a problem.
That is true, though. You should do it all the time.
And they don't do it, and because so in any case, we have to go after these people.
I'm looking up their phone number. What exactly are they called?
Has anyone talked to them from here? I'm hoping we did, right? We contacted them, right?
I think they won't answer. They're always in a meeting or they're gone.
We've reached out, but no one calls
call us back.
Suzanne,
Tom.
we left messages.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I did get their liability insurance. They did email me.
You can't do anything direct.
I can't file a claim.
Of course you
insurance?
can't. Of course you can't.
Oh.
No. If people could do that, that would be our system would be in shambles.
Do they have a place in Inglewood as well?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
I'm saying that Springs Auto and Truck Center, is it?
Truck Service Center.
Well,
yes.
Springs Truck Service Center. Okay.
Springs Auto and Truck Service Center.
Oh, Springs Auto and Truck Service Center.
I got them pulled up here. They're at let me look here. 719.
Yeah.
382.
0363. 0363.
But I do have a letter here from the Mercedes mechanic showing, what he found.
Did you give that to them?
Showing what he found doesn't showing what he found doesn't mean anything. The bottom line is this: what caused it? Okay, I don't care what he found. We got to get these guys to even acknowledge that they caused it. It was caused by a runaway diesel.
Ooh, they're a Napa Auto Care Center.
What does that mean?
Well, they have some warranties attached to that. I'm curious.
By
are any
Napa?
of you guys? Are you?
Yeah,
Kevin, is there any?
There's a 1-800 number. I can look it up for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Tom, I don't like this, man. I don't like one part of this Springs Automotive. I don't like one part of them. But you want a little good news?
What's that?
A little bird whispered to me that Pete Kia might be doing the right thing shortly.
We'll see. It would be nice. We'll see. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Chris, what's going on with you? I mean, it's like like I said, we're batting our heads up against the wall some days, trying to get people to do the right thing. This Springs Auto and Truck Center, or Service Center, 719-382-0363. People, let them know what you think. You should. You know, I believe that the more people that know about people and spread the word, the stronger we are.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised Napa Auto Care Centers allow this kind of behavior, so I think they need to know real soon who's flying their flag.
They won't even acknowledge this guy.
They won't even call him back.
Okay, Chris, what's happening with your timing belt?
Yeah, I have a 2001 Toyota 4Runner with the V6. I have about 152,000 miles on it, and I was told it's non-interference, and from my understanding is when that timing belt does go, you know, I'm not going to smash the heads into the...
It's a non-interference, that's right. You can go till it goes if you want.
You'll still be stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. And
is there any other harm that could happen to that engine if it's a non-interference? Guys, anything at all? Is there any reason for him to
Can the belt slap around and break something else or what?
That could hit some of the idler pulleys, but it's not going to hurt the internal workings of the engine.
Okay, and about how many miles do you think that thing will last?
Well, hold on. The service tells you. What does it say? You have a 2001. Isn't that a 95,000-mile one on Toyota, guys?
Yeah, 90 to 100, 120. Anything right in there.
How many miles do you have?
152,000.
Oh my God! If you don't,
you're playing Russian roulette.
Because listen, I'm going to tell you why. You're probably not getting maximum performance. There's got to be a slip tooth somewhere. Not a tooth, but you know, a little ridge.
Just stretches a little. Yeah.
Well, now, Chris, let me tell you something. On your Toyota 4Runner there, because you waited so long to do that timing belt, you're definitely going to want to do a water pump. You're going to want to do all the pulleys and the idler pulleys and the tensioner pulleys, and you're going to want to do a thermostat and new antifreeze.
Why would anybody, guys, why would a manufacturer design one that would hurt the engine? Why not make all of them non-interference?
It's better performance.
The interference engine is better performance because it's closer tolerances. And also, it's a smaller engine. You know, I mean, they spread out the engine. They can make a non-interference. Here's the thing. You know, there's all kinds of reasons. But why can't they make it along that same line? Why don't they make it with a chain? Why don't they do the interference engines with chains instead of belts?
Interesting. I don't know why. I don't see a good reason for it.
Is it cost per unit? Is it the CPU again? Because I'm telling you, man, you would be surprised what Detroit, and now, of course, not just Detroit, that's the expression. The manufacturers do to save pennies per unit. But it could be.
Well, I mean, maybe they want them coming back for the service, though.
Well, there's a lot more newer ones that are chain-driven now than timing belts.
Oh, so is it more?
They're starting to see more and more chains, yeah.
And is that the only system to drive timing we could have, or couldn't you have just straight gear?
Ford had that.
Gear.
Ford had gears for the longest time, didn't have chains.
I mean, isn't that more efficient if you think about it?
Yes.
It's more expensive.
Well, so did Chevrolet with the 6-cylinder. It was just all gear-driven.
Now, for those listening, rolling their eyes, let me explain something when we talk about a timing belt. And this is where my whiteboard would come in. But when an engine turns, you have to tell the engine when to suck in fuel and when to spark it so you get your power, okay? So you're sucking in fuel and air, and then you're compressing and firing. That's called timing. And if you don't fire at the right time, if you don't do it at the right exact time, then you lose performance. And the only way to do that is as the engine is turning, you have this thing, this cam that controls it. It's a controller, basically. And what happens is this belt is connected to the rotation of the engine. If that belt breaks, your timing goes out. And so we're talking about a timing belt, but they also make chains that do it. And then we just said some engines used to have gears that did it, gear to gear. But in any case, if you need any kind of information and you don't understand something, you just call and tell us. 303-713-8255. I have to take this quick break, as we do, of course, every few minutes. I just want to tell you that we're live on Facebook. Remember that. and we're live on YouTube, and referrallist.com, 303-713-8255.
Homeline Services is more for plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric.
He's all about that Toyota. Maybe you make a few bucks off of it.
Well, he wants to replace the car with his.
Yeah, he said his got total.
It's got total.
Oh, that's nice. They'll tell you if you're having a great deal, and if not, hey, they'll take a shot at the business.
Oh man! So what the free car? What was it again? It's a little 4-cylinder, right? 97. That's at your shop.
Oh, 97 Escort, 98 Escort. In fact, I got the title. It was in the car.
Yeah, he's supposed to hand it to the guy. Good.
I'll bring it over to you.
Well, I'll just keep it with the car.
What is that? And then the hood, apparently the hood, just the safety latch is hooking the regular latch.
I haven't looked that close at it because the paint's peeling off the hood, so it's got half white, half metal.
So you're going to paint it.
So we're going to paint it.
You're going to make it look like the 82 Aries.
82 Aries. I got a goal to hit there.
You can put classic plates on it.
Classic.
You gonna do all that for lunch? Car out here? What kind of car was it?
That was beautiful.
Dodge Aries.
I got it right here. It looks like it, doesn't it?
It's very
It's
simple.
a two-tone.
Here, I literally have it right here. Here it is.
So that's the car that the guy wanted the lunch for?
Well, he out there says.
He's literally putting classic plates on it. It's not a joke. At least not.
Does that cost extra?
Oh, they're 5-year plates.
The seminars are free to attend.
So they're about the same amount of money. You still have to.
Isn't that abused?
Wow.
Here it is right here.
And Thursday, May 11th. Both
But
seminars.
see, this is
You want to see what's under the
Let
hood?
me ask you something now. Did you ask him about buying us lunch, really, or not?
He said he'd come up and buy you lunch.
So you can
Was he
stay
kidding?
to enjoy your favorite.
I sure wouldn't trust him. Not after the first time. No, what I learned about
By the
iTed.
way, did I not, did we
He
not
doesn't.
buy in time?
Oh, we should, did we? Yeah, it's too late. It won't show up.
Line
Look
2
at that
is
view.
curious. She held yesterday and didn't get on.
It's got mohair.
But she and her husband both have their separate accounts, bank accounts, and loans at a credit union.
He's got mohair on him.
What are rat hats
told
made
him that his wife hasn't been making, or has been making late payments on her loans. She's pissed that they gave out personal information.
They actually did have it, but I don't think it's supposed to be that.
Is that allowed?
No. Elaine bought George a hat. Turned out to be $18,000.
Oh, okay.
He left it at this girl's house on purpose because after a woman gets to know him twice, she goes, Costanza. So after he goes back to get it, because Elaine figures out it's 18 grand, needs it back, he finds one from Kramer's friend.
Who's guys think, you know, okay, what was George's surefire way to attract a woman?
To attract and just be himself, be 100% himself.
No, opposite. That's how he ended up.
He had a trick.
The Costanza?
He had tons of
Costanza.
I know he had tons. He had one trick in particular.
Well, to say the name, say a little sane.
What happened in the episode?
He would carry a picture of an attractive woman and
That was the one where
work it into a conversation that that's his girlfriend.
that's it.
That's his fiance that
No,
died.
it was his fiance that died, not his girlfriend.
Yeah, but
And they'd feel bad for him.
right.
It actually got him into a club
But
with
it
all
has to be a
models.
good-looking woman because if they know that you dated a good-looking woman,
Of course.
they know that you're approved for good-looking women.
Then you're approved. So they let him into the club where it's all good-looking women and people. And then when they figured out he was faking, he went back to the club and they shut it down. It wasn't there anymore.
Okay, what was the one thing at the bookstore that made the book unsaleable?
Oh my God, he took a shit while he was reading it.
It was more.
They made him buy it for $100 too. It was more.
You remember the shirt?
What shirt?
The shirt.
The shirt.
The puffy shirt?
Oh, the pirate shirt. Yeah.
That was actually the episode, puffy shirt.
Puffy shirt. Yeah. You can buy those right now on Amazon. They're $100.
Do you remember how one of Jerry's girlfriends said she got venereal disease?
Oh, from sitting on the tractor, of course.
I do know a lot of trivia.
But the puffy shirt, that's why.
Do you know these answers or
No.
not?
You ever watch Seinfeld?
Oh, you can't stump me on any of them. Do you remember what was the, let's see, who are some of your favorite characters? You know that one of my favorite characters is that guy that always wanted to be Jerry Strange. Hey, Jerry!
Oh, yeah, he was a comedian.
That guy.
He owed him dinner, and he promised to buy Jerry dinner, so Jerry takes him out, and he only has soup. And then he goes, well, you didn't buy me dinner that time. You got to bring me out again for dinner. All I had was soup.
Soup is not a meal.
Soup is not a meal.
And he wanted to get it over with.
He wanted to. And he gave him an Armani soup.
That's why he did it, right? Armani soup. I would take that one soup.
Maybe I'm blind. Thinking I can see through this and see what's
Hi, Tom Martino here. It's Car Day. I'm your troubleshooter, going on 40 years. The longest continued radio show in the nation with the same host. Let's talk to Carolyn, and we are talking about Springs Auto and Truck Service Center, and they don't seem to be doing the right thing for this guy with the turbo on the Mercedes. Carolyn, what is your comment?
Well, my husband and I 2 years ago, we took his car over there to get, and I can't remember what it was that he took it over there to get fixed, and it took him 8 days to get this part in. And so they called us and told us it was going to be 8 days until they could get the part in, and we said, okay, that was fine. Well, when they fixed our car, we went to go pick it up, and they had charged us storage fees.
Are you kidding me?
For the car sitting there for 8 days.
I think that's literally illegal. Yeah,
Well,
that is illegal.
He did it. And so I told my husband we were never, ever going back there again.
That's crazy.
I wonder if these people just like pissing people off.
Maybe.
You know, there are just some businesses that just don't know how to do the right thing.
And what were the storage fees?
Well, they charged us $25 a day, and and they wouldn't release our keys to us until we paid the bill.
Wow.
You know, they have a nice-looking facility.
They threatened this guy. They said, hey, you got to be down here in 24 hours or else something or other with his vehicle.
We were waiting for the part. And they
I get it.
told us one time that they were going to charge us storage fees.
Now, so folks, if you want to pay storage fees while you wait for parts and you want your engine blown up, I would personally call Springs Auto and Truck Service Center at 719-382-0363.
And on this Google thing, this search, it says, look for a new location opening soon. If you look up...
Maybe I'll go down for the ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What the heck is going on? Have you ever asked yourself, why don't people just do the right thing?
It's been an automotive week, though, hasn't it?
Now, Misty held and didn't get on the other day, and she has a problem that I think would piss off most anyone. Go ahead, Misty.
So I have a bank account with a credit union, and my husband also has a bank account with them, and they're separate accounts. I'm not on his, he's not on mine. And my husband went in there to go see if he could get a loan for a vehicle, and they told him, well, I don't know if we'll be able to give you a loan because of the way that you pay, or that the way that your wife pays, which would be me.
Wait a minute. She said to your husband something about your payment history?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? What did she say exactly? Do you know, was it like a casual conversation or what?
She said, well, because Misty's not paying on her loan, we don't know if we would be able to give you a loan. And so he comes home to me and asks me, hey, are you not paying Eaton? Or, sorry, if you're not paying the credit union. And I said, well, yeah, I have a payment plan. So he goes back down there to go talk to her again about getting a loan. And he's told she's never called anybody to make a payment plan. She would have to be talking to me, so you probably won't be eligible for your loan. Which I don't know how she can compare apples to apples, to oranges to my oranges. You know what I mean? I don't know how she can even disclose that information.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Did you complain? I mean, what can I tell you?
Hey,
It's wrong.
well,
so
it's
what do you want?
employee-
I mean, it's
Okay,
wrong.
so
You're you know
I
you
am right.
you should
I
be
think I am
upset.
right.
You should be
I
upset.
am upset.
But I okay. So other than complaining, what can you do about it? They just hope it doesn't happen again.
Right. So I don't know. Other than that, I mean, there's no legal recourse I could go do or anything towards them.
Maybe.
No, I don't see where you could. I don't see
No?
where you could document any damages. Do you?
Well,
No. Well, only he said, she said. You know what I mean?
well, no, they're giving out private banking information to someone that shouldn't have got it. You're saying I don't think.
If you proved, let's just go for argument's sake, not he said, she said. Let's say for absolutely sure you can prove she disclosed to your husband that every once in a while you're late on a payment. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that's proven. Now, what did you lose as a result?
Did he leave
Nothing.
you?
Huh?
No.
Okay, so that's
Not
what I'm
yet.
saying.
No.
So, Misty, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, what you've heard, there's an expression, no harm, no foul.
Right.
In civil suits, that really is the case. Not in criminal, but in civil. In criminal, you can have a forgery, even if there's no damage, it's a crime. But in civil, if you have a forgery and there's no crime, if I forge your name on a birthday card to someone, I mean, what are you going to sue me for? What? I mean, there's got to be something actionable. So this is terrible, by the way. It is terrible, and it should be punished in some way. If they don't fire her, they should. But if they, I don't know what else you can do. But I agree with you. It is wrong. It is dead wrong. Did you complain to a boss down there?
It's a employee-based credit union, so it's
yeah, but
where I used to
there's a
work
boss.
there. Right, there is a boss, but they're all in cahoots. They all work there. They all, you know what I mean? There's me complaining.
I got a
wouldn't do
question.
anything.
No one cares, is what you're saying.
How come you weren't making the payments?
How come I wasn't?
Yeah, seriously. Why were you late?
Was she telling the truth?
Well, she wasn't really actually telling the truth.
It wouldn't matter if she was or not. She's not supposed to discuss your account.
Right.
So, did your husband not know this information?
Oh, yeah, he knew it. He just didn't know that it would affect his account, which
By the way,
affect his account.
Was he upset that she mentioned it to him?
Yes.
Then you both should complain. I can't believe that there's no one there that would listen. What credit?
I mean, we could try to go down there and
what
say
credit
something about
union?
it, but
What credit union?
Eaton Employees Federal Credit Union.
Okay. Trust me, there's got to be a manager there or a supervisor that would care about it. There would.
Okay.
And you just have to make sure that they reprimand her for that. I mean, it's just wrong. It really is wrong. If you're looking for, speaking of banking and financing, if you're looking for a reverse loan, you're going to hear a lot of people advertising that they do reverse loans. And I'll tell you why. Because property values are going up. So you're going to get more equity. And as people get more equity, they have more ability to borrow that equity. And if you're 62 and older, you can borrow that equity and never pay it back. And, you know, that's just the way it is with a reverse loan. The state can pay it back, or you can sell the property. There's never a deficiency, even if the property goes down in value. There are so many good reasons to have a reverse loan. There are so many bad reasons to have one. It depends on your situation, and that's what I'm getting at. No matter who you hear advertise, the only one I trust to tell you the truth, whether or not it fits your circumstances, is Joan Sullivan and her team at Approval Reverse Mortgage. They're not going to slam you into it unless it's really good for you. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528.
This report is brought to you by Way to Go.
There's quite a few slow spots in the Highway Drive. A couple of crashes to watch out for. A wreck at Hamden and Monaco. Another crash at Hamden near Tamarack as well. Back out on the highways. I-25 heavy downtown. Southbound stop and go south of I-70 and traveling down towards 6th Avenue. Northbound starting to stack up a bit north of 6th Avenue as well. Westbound I-70 stop and go on the approach to Vasquez. And westbound I-270 is heavy on the approach to Vasquez as well. The weather forecast. There will be periods of rain today with a cool high of 48. Right now, cloudy skies and 48. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Hey there, commuter. Going to work? Going home? Going crazy with so many people on the roads? Find your go-to solution for a smarter commute. Let's go avoid traffic and reduce the number of cars. Let's go find a carpool, vanpool, bike, rail, or bus route. Let's go map a fresh commute. See you at waytogo.org.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops in your kitchen, you need to call Art of Granite. They'll sell you the stone at the wholesale price and only charge for installation and labor. They're custom fabricators who have a gold star with the Better Business Bureau. And when Art of Granite remodels your kitchen, they'll do your bathroom vanity for free. Call them right now at 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919 or online at artofgranite.net.
Join us every Sunday at 9 a.m. for This Dream House. We discuss all the different ways to make your current home into your dream home. I'm host Kevin Draco, and each week I'll invite special guests in to talk about all the different ways to make your dream house come true. That's Sundays at 9 a.m. on 630 KHOW.
A few years ago, my wife and I went shopping for amazing quality luxury bedding we could actually afford. And what did we find? Nothing. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen. Missy and I started Bull & Branch because we want you to be able to afford the best bedding in the world. By cutting out the middlemen and only selling online at bullandbranch.com, our award-winning sheets cost less than half of designer brands and are twice the quality. Every set is crafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer and softer over time. That's why we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and even 3 U.S. presidents have Bull & Branch sheets. There's no risk. Try them for 30 nights. If you don't love them, send them back for a full refund. Go to bullandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets, plus free shipping.
I can make some money. We're having a mixer. I got the game at home, man. I haven't even opened it yet.
Play it? You're going to play it with your kids.
Yeah, they wouldn't play with me, bastards. Damn kids and my wife. They're like, we're not playing the Seinfeld trivia game with you. What are we going to do? Sit around looking like idiots for an hour?
You certainly don't want to play with Bart. Or with Tom knows it with Tom.
Oh shit, I'd beat Tom.
I cannot believe. Really?
Oh god.
Like what questions are on there? You haven't even seen it? Is it like a Trivia Pursuit, only Seinfeld?
It's a DVD, so I think what happens is they might show you some. I don't know. I haven't even opened the box.
Have you seen that show Seinfeld does, Comedians and Coffee?
I've watched one episode.
I've never watched it. Yeah. He takes a comedian in one of his classic cars, Seinfeld does,
and drive around.
And they just drive around and get coffee and shoot the shit and talk. It's pretty cool.
I saw him on stage not too long ago. He was pretty good. The second time I saw Seinfeld stand up, he was really good. The first time, right after the show ended, he came to town. I was like, all right, let me go check him out. It's my favorite show ever. I was like, oh man, that was different.
Yeah, he's originally from Massapequa, which is right down the road from my mom's house. About one hour away. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, and the Baldwins are.
We should go visit.
The Baldwins were there? Well, the Baldwins went to Massapequa High too, which is. See, I lived right on the borderline between Seaford, Wantua, and Massapequa. So I went to Seaford High School. I could have went to
Massapequa Normal, where he grew up. All these names are really weird.
Yeah.
Is it an Indian? Are they all Indian names?
Absolutely.
Well, that's where I grew up too, in New York.
Absolutely.
Seacliff.
I was born in Schenectady, but I don't think is Schenectady Indian?
Could be.
It could be, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are all from the East Coast?
No, I'm local.
I was born in Schenectady, lived in
New Jersey.
I grew up
Plattsburgh.
Oh, good. Hey, listen, I'm on the air right now, but I'm in a commercial. I can call you back at 1 o'clock. I'll be off the air.
Tom was Catskills.
Was he?
Yep, New York. Where were you born? Oh, he's Farmer. You know what he said the other day was so funny? We were all just sitting in the office.
It doesn't have to be hers.
Just, we're all doing different work. And I forget how he used it in the sentence, but instead of the word creek,
my God,
he used the word crick.
Crick? Right.
I thought I was in an episode of
Crick? Okay, and you can say creek.
I'll call you back. True. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
It's easier saying crick.
The people that said the word crick.
You're up. Go.
Yeah, it's me. Let's talk. Now, let me recap this quickly. Matt called. I want to get this on. We always give businesses more than their say. I want them to tell exactly what's going on. Matt has a Mercedes Sprinter. He says he took in with a turbo problem to Colorado Springs Auto and Truck Service Center, and he said that they fixed the turbo, but when they started up the Mercedes, it over-revved the engine. It was a runaway diesel because there was residual fuel in the intake. And Matt said he was upset about that, and they wouldn't do anything about it. Is that it in a nutshell, Matt?
Well, yeah, and now we know that the guy didn't clean anything out because there's metal all in it. It's all in the intercooler. And
So, Matt, what we want to talk about is, was the installation done properly, or did the installation in itself cause the problem with the overrunning engine?
I know the installation wasn't done properly because every Sprinter mechanic I've talked to, I've talked to several.
Now,
same with us.
Now, what I wanted to say, Matt, is that was our question. So we independently went out and checked with a bunch of different people, and every one of them said that there is a procedure for doing this repair, and part of it is a very careful cleaning out of an intake manifold or intake something or other that would, and I'm not the expert here, but they said then you reassemble it, and that's the only way you do it, because if you don't do it that way, you risk a runaway diesel, which could ruin the engine and could also ruin the turbo again. So,
plus knowing that my impeller was broken, and in their words, they've never seen one broken like this. Well, then you would think you would do your due diligence and make sure you clean out all the metal before you fire one up.
I understand, Matt. You're saying when you went in there to begin with, not only did they not clean out the fuel, they didn't clean out the metal. So, enough said. Enough said. Now what we have to do is truly give Daryl the opportunity to address this. I don't want you to interrupt him, okay? That would be great. Thank you very much. This is Daryl Draper he's the operations manager at Springs Auto and Truck Service Center. Thank you very much, Daryl.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. So can you just continue there on basically...
Yeah. So where we were at on Matt's vehicle, Matt gave us a call. We record all phone calls. We get a recorded phone call that his vehicle has no power. He puts it in gear and there's nothing.
Daryl, could we, in the interest of time, not go through this entire detail, because it all comes down to the repair.
Okay, so on the repair, we handle hundreds of Sprinter vehicles. We cover fleets for Frito-Lay, for Pepsi.
Okay.
You know, we are well versed in the Sprinter.
Okay.
When we said we've never seen a failure like that, usually the turbo failures are the turbo seals in the oil going into the intercooler. The intake that you're talking about is the intercooler.
Yeah.
So his turbo, the impeller shattered, went into the intercooler. We found no oil loss, but the customer called us originally and said, you know what, I'm way low on oil, I don't know where it's at. It's our procedure when we change a turbo to take the intercooler, take it, and clean it. We blow air through it, and we use a fluid extractor. We got less than a cup of oil out of the intercooler.
So you did clean it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Why do you think let's just ask this. Why do you think when you guys fired it up, the engine overran?
Because I think there's a deeper issue with that engine. I think all that oil that caused the engine to run away was in the EGR cooler, which is an emissions device, which when they fail, oil can get in there. There's no way to tell if there's oil in there without disassembling the whole engine, and we explained that to Matt.
So you're saying that overrunning diesel had nothing to do with an improper installation?
The turbo, no. We install hundreds of turbos.
Okay, then what about not cleaning out the metal fragments, as he said?
You know what? The metal fragments now, after it ran away, I think that new turbo got damaged from the runaway. So if that new turbo would have got damaged from the runaway, then there would have been fragments from the new turbo, not from the old turbo. The new turbo, I stand behind every part that I install, whether I get a factory warranty or not.
So Daryl, I want to make this clear. Springs Auto and Truck Service Center is saying to Matt, we had an overrunning condition, but it wasn't because of us. Now, we want to examine this further. Again, I just, in the interest of time, want to make it clear, and I want to ask my experts what they think about what you said. Daryl, we would love to call you right back in a few minutes, or you can hold. I want to make sure we relate your position properly, because Matt is very upset, obviously. He's facing thousands of dollars in repairs, and he obviously wants to know who's at fault. We have more coming
right up.
I got her trying to get the Mercedes dealer on where
You know what I was thinking about on...
Oh,
what do you guys think of what he said?
Well,
Does he have on the invoice that he cleaned out the intake?
Well, but Mercedes is saying there's metal everywhere in there.
Right.
And the
the old
propeller...
turbo or the new one?
Well, the new turbo, the propeller's still in...
It's damaged, though.
Well, so it could be something besides the propeller?
Question for you. Just a quick question. It's like this. We do a transmission for a customer. Transmission comes in, planetary gears fail, the thing's full of metal. We tell a customer, listen, we need to service, flush the cooler, get all this contamination out of it. Charge for doing that is $160. Oh, I don't want to spend that much money on getting everything cleaned out. Just go ahead and do the transmission. Well, sir, we don't want all this metal getting back into, from the cooler, of the original.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's what they said to him. I think it's more like this. They come in, you say, hey, the transmission's a problem. You put a transmission in there, you do it exactly how you want to do it, you do it right, and you blow up his engine. Are you saying that's his fault? Because now he needs an engine.
Right.
Because it overread.
Well, why did it overread? Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say.
So he's saying it's some kind of magical reason that was there free?
I don't know. He said it had nothing to do with them. They cleaned out the...
Are they talking about a runaway engine? What does that mean?
Well, on a diesel, when you have fuel in the intake, there's no way to stop it once it starts. Like a gas engine, you shut it off and kill the spark.
Well, Mercedes, come on.
I'm gonna call them, I know who to ask for, but I don't know what to ask, because I don't understand all
Just
this.
say, hey, you guys are looking at a truck down there, and the other shop is saying there's no way it can be there. We get a comment from you guys.
Okay.
So if the fuel is loaded up in the intake...
Andy, what do you think?
I just called my diesel tech.
What do you say?
It's possible.
And what part's possible?
That the EGR could have had enough contamination to cause a runaway.
Okay, so, he said that he told the customer that, right?
Right.
Let's ask the customer if he told him that.
What difference does it make if you
And he also said...
What do you mean, what difference does it make?
Well, he also said you have to take apart the whole engine to check that EGR.
If the caused it, should they have cleaned the EGR before they...
That's where I was going.
Right.
That's
he
not
said that.
That's not as common a practice as the intercooler.
He said that you'd have
If that's not a practice, I mean...
take apart the whole engine and check that EGR. Does that sound right? No.
Well, no, just clean it out, though.
So you're saying you can't blow fuel out of that EGR without tearing apart the entire engine?
Well, you may not know that EGR is contaminated.
And if that's
He may have some legitimacy to it.
And if that's a possibility...
So, okay, well, this will be simple. When the guy's not going to ditch a new Sprinter, so when Mercedes or whoever he has fix it, tears it apart, what are they looking for?
I think they're going to find as much as they would have prior, because now that fuel is burned. There's too much damage at this point for them to know that.
How big are these EGR valves and stuff on cars?
That EGR passage
It's an EGR system.
EGR passage.
Yeah. It's not the same as like an
Well,
old
it'll be interesting what...
So there could have been a substantial amount in the EGR passage. It actually has an EGR manifold on a lot of it.
And he would have had some regulation problems if there was that much oil in there.
You would think so.
You know, I mean, smoking, it's something, you should have had a symptom.
I don't like any part of it. I don't care. I don't care what it was.
How many miles are on that Sprinter, do you know?
I don't know. We can ask.
It might be on
He goes in for a turbo. They charge him thousands of dollars for a turbo. They turn it back on. His engine blows up, and now he needs a turbo again. And they tell him, come get it, or else we're going to start charging you daily.
Is not professional.
Correct.
Even not just the way they handled it. I don't know how else. I don't know who else's fault it would be besides theirs. Now, if they literally called him up and warned him, hey, this may happen when we turn it back on, like the guy said they did.
It's not common.
Mark, lately you're talking about just because somebody touches something, if something goes wrong, if there's something internally wrong with that engine and it starts over-revving, and it's not their fault, why the fuck are they responsible?
It never over-revved before on the guy.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. It's car day. We're talking about cars, but we talk about just about anything in your life having to do with your heart and pocketbook. Hey, listen, I throw my hands in the air with things like this because really it comes down to the question of this. When someone is entrusted to fix your car, are they responsible for absolutely everything that happens to it? Now, Matt took his Mercedes Sprinter van to Springs Auto and Truck Service Center. They repaired the turbo that had been damaged. When they repaired the turbo, the owner is claiming, the car owner is claiming, they did not do it properly. They did not install the new turbo properly. He says they didn't clean out the metal fragments properly, and they did not install it properly. They left fuel in the intercooler, which caused a runaway condition with the diesel. That runaway condition is excessive RPMs, which ruined the engine and ruined the turbo. But Springs Auto and Truck Center, the operations manager, is saying we did not cause that overrunning condition. But the question is, and I want to talk to just Daryl, and I want to give him, I'm not going to have Matt argue with him right now, but Daryl, here's the deal. Did I explain that properly, basically?
Yes, you did, Tom. And here was the offer that I made Matt. You know, we felt that the engine was okay. I still feel it's okay. We did a compression test on it. It was fine. Matt called me and says, you know what, I want a leak down test done to it. So I had to order a special tool. While that special tool was coming in, I had a phone call from a gentleman wanting to know my insurance information and threatened me that Matt was suing me.
Yeah.
So immediately I said, I don't want any more work on this car. I'm done. I need Matt to pay off the balance and come pick up the car because I was threatened with a lawsuit.
Okay, listen. Here's
Now,
what I want to know. But here's what I want to know, though. You did claim that runaway engine was not your problem, right? I mean, you guys didn't cause it. Okay. How did it happen then? How did it happen?
Well, when he originally called us, his vehicle was not, that vehicle never came to us running properly at all. We towed it in. We don't know what kind of problems it ever had. So the turbo was the very first problem that we diagnosed. So before we could diagnose any more engine failures and engine consumption, we had to first fix the turbo.
Okay,
if it was a running engine and if the vehicle drove in, you know, that would be a different story.
So here's what Mark, and I'm just going to let Mark, because Mark thinks because the truck was in your possession, you're responsible. I don't necessarily agree, but Mark, go ahead. What is your...
Yeah, Daryl, that's my whole thing. This guy comes in, it's evident, and tell me if I'm wrong, the propeller on the turbo blew up, right? Impeller blew up, right?
Yes.
So you guys sell them a new turbo assembly, right?
Yes, and just I need to add this in. This is a cousin of one of our best customers, so we discounted our rates $30 an hour.
Daryl, none of that matters. Daryl, I understand that, but really right now, all that matters is this. Mark, I don't know if I agree.
He reinstalls it, so you guys reinstall it, you turn it on, and it runs away, right?
Correct.
Does that not mean there was fuel somewhere in there?
Yes, but it was
isn't that
from
your
the intercooler.
But didn't you guys create it not being in there then?
He's saying, isn't it your fault?
No, if it's from a device not hooked to the turbo, how could it be our fault? Matt called us with excessive oil consumption. The oil was going somewhere. It was not in the intake.
But if you knew that was a problem...
That's the whole thing. If you knew that was part of the issue, wouldn't you have done that?
Well, if the intake looked clean, we would think it would be safe to start. If the intercooler, when we clean out, because we go by factory procedures, when there was no oil in the intercooler, we felt it was safe to turn the vehicle on.
Okay, and apparently it wasn't.
Right. You know, as soon as it started to rev, the technician turned off the key, pulled it out of his hand, ran out to the front to try to stop a runaway diesel, which is very difficult.
Oh my God, Daryl, you just explained it perfectly. It's almost impossible, and generally it'll blow up the engine if you've seen these tractor trailers or the big rigs.
But hold on.
Oh yeah.
But what I don't get, what he just described, his guy turned the key, it ran away, the engine blew up. The customer sure didn't do it. They did it.
Okay. Now, Andy Barella, who's a service manager, he's with Colorado Springs Dodge. You're saying, Andy, Is it their fault just because he turned the key and started it? What if it was an internal condition that had nothing to do with what they did? Why should they be responsible?
I don't know that they are 100% responsible. It becomes an issue of compromise. That's exactly where you're at. And what he's saying here is that, hey, we offered to assist the customer, and then the lawsuit came in, and all of that came forward. So that's what we don't know. That's where we have no idea what took place at that point. Now, would I help the guy? Absolutely. And does it sound like Springs Auto and Truck is offered or was going to? It sounds like that's the case. Am I right?
Yes. I was going to, if the engine passed all the tests, if the customer bought injectors,
well, it doesn't.
Plugs, I was going to do all the labor for free.
Well, there's metal everywhere. So what are you willing to do now is the question, Daryl. Daryl, what are you willing to do now?
Where I was at originally before he threatened me with a lawsuit. If that engine checks out good, I think the original engine is good. The metal, that can be cleaned out. That's easy. If the engine block is good, if the customer purchases the injectors and the glow plugs, I will do all the labor for free. That was my original offer.
How about the turbo it needs now?
Now, hold on. I want to give...
The turbo I'll take care of.
Now, I want to give Matt... Now, I just want to say this. I don't know which way to go. I did not make up my mind, and that's for damn sure, because I think Mark has a point that it was in their possession. I mean, it's not the customer. He goes in to have work done, and they hand him back a Sprinter van with no engine, saying sorry. And at the same time, I think that if you're a mechanic and there's something wrong with the engine and I had nothing to do with it, why should I have to pay for it? But anyway, I'm going to have Matt give his say. Matt, I'm just going to ask this, okay? Just try not to repeat things more than 1,000 times. Go ahead.
Well, Tom, we've got two issues here, really. When I was it's at Mercedes now, they're telling me I need a new motor because
we know that
the impeller on my original turbo, they never clean. You cannot clean off an intercooler without removing it. Period.
Okay, they're saying just for argument's sake, let's have a back and forth. They're saying the metal fragments in there are from the new turbo.
No. I've got whole chunks of the whole fin, the whole impeller blade of my original stuff.
So Daryl, what do you think, just one step at a time, Daryl, what do you think about that the old metal hasn't even been cleaned out?
Oh, I was there when it got cleaned out. I know.
But what if they have fragments right now from the old turbo?
Okay, a fragment would not cause a runaway diesel.
No, but we're talking...
that means you didn't clean it.
Daryl,
all right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to trick you.
The customer thinks that we didn't clean it. I'm positive that we did clean it. So now we.
Then what did the Mercedes dealer? What did the Mercedes dealer find in the engine if you cleaned it? Why is he finding fragments of the old turbo, even different parts that were shattered in the new one? They're not the same parts. He's finding different parts that could have only come from the other turbo. I mean, why? And what do you think about what he says? You can't clean an impeller, or excuse me, you can't clean the intercooler without removing it.
Now, I need to know, did that Mercedes dealer find that old turbo parts in the intercooler? Because you guys are saying that went into the engine.
Where did he find it, Matt?
The engine, when it originally broke.
Let's answer it, Daryl. Let's answer it. Let's answer. Where did they find? I want one question at a time. Listen.
They found metal inside the silencer, charge air hoses, intercooler, and bleeder hose. Also found that the new turbo is now faulty because of the metal running through the system.
Okay.
The turbine blades are chipped.
So, Daryl, did that answer your question as to where they found the metal?
Yes. Now, I also believe it was the new turbo, the fragments of the new turbo. Because that new turbo, I know when we were pulling it off, it shattered. I already had one on order to replace it.
Okay.
They never told me that, Tom.
Okay. Matt,
Tom,
hold on.
They never told me that.
Matt, I understand your frustration totally. Trust me, I do. Daryl.
This is the first time I've heard from Daryl.
So basically, as I get this straight, the engine ran away due to no fault of your own. It shattered the turbo. That's the metal they're finding. Matt is saying, according to the Mercedes dealer, there was too much metal. it had to have come from the previous turbo as well, and that the intercooler can't be cleaned without removing it.
It's got to go to a radiator shop, or Mercedes just automatically replaces them when a turbo
And Matt,
impeller blade is broken.
Matt, I
have their
appreciate you.
guidelines.
I appreciate you adding details, but if you could just let me help here on just question and answer. So, Daryl, what about the fact that they said you didn't clean it properly if you didn't remove it?
We clean it by the procedures that we get online.
From Mercedes?
Yes.
From Yahoo.
Factory? No, we use Mitchell All Data, which is the industry standard.
Andy, does it have to be removed?
They get their information from Mercedes.
Normal process is to remove it and clean it.
Okay, so we have an expert here saying the normal process is to remove and clean. So, does it, listen, I do.
Should I sue All Data then, a company that I use to do repairs, because they didn't tell me to remove it?
I truly do not believe, let me say this to begin with, that you did anything intentionally. I think it was wrong, but I'm leaning more toward Mark. This guy comes in with an engine, and he's trusting you guys to replace the turbo, and you hand it back saying we had nothing to do with it.
Vehicle.
What's that?
He came in with a non-running vehicle.
Okay,
that
I get
was
it.
damaged, and
well,
we
it
didn't
was
know what
damaged.
going on with it.
You're right, Daryl. You're right, Daryl. You wouldn't have to provide him a brand new engine. It is depreciated. It did have problems. I think the fair thing to do is to value it in pre-accident condition, the engine and whatever, and then I understand what he's saying. He's saying, Matt, that you didn't come in with a perfect truck, and there's no reason why they have to pay to give you a perfect truck. They just have to pay to give you what you would have gotten for that repair. So, but really and truly, his engine is toast right now. How many miles on this, Matt?
160.
Okay. So what is that? Can we say 50%?
Not even. That's a 1,000,000-mile vehicle if maintained, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I have
on a
all the
Mercedes
records from
Sprinter,
Mercedes.
no. They're not like a Ford Power Stroke or something like that.
So is that Mercedes good for...
My Sprinter mechanic's in next to me. What's the average mileage?
Mark, I was going to say about a 500,000 mile.
Your mic is, for some reason, screwing up.
130,000 miles before they start having some real issues?
Well, that's when they have issues at 130.
Right.
How long can they go?
Yeah, roughly.
I think the farthest one we've seen was a Frito-Lay with 225.
The furthest one that we've seen was a Frito-Lay truck that had 235 before.
You got thousands of people listening that own Sprinters, so this will answer itself.
Okay, here, we got to take a break. What do you guys think of how they're handling it?
I think he handles it absolutely horrible in every situation so far.
Yes, he is saying he still hasn't mentioned why it ran away.
And if the Mercedes dealer or tech is absolutely correct, and there's pieces of the big impeller inside of that intercooler, it's over. It's over.
That's exactly
so they're
where I'm
saying
going.
basically Mercedes is lying. They're saying everybody else did something wrong but them.
And the Mercedes dealer is saying he should have removed the intercooler. And he's saying that's not what Mitchell says.
Same with our Dodge dealer, Andy, saying that's just normal.
And he's saying that's not what Mitchell says. That's what he's saying. Hey, listen, Frank Duran, the real estate man.com is the one to go if you're looking for houses, if you're looking to buy or sell. Now, if you want to sell a home, you'll find no one better than Frank to list that home. And I can tell you this from personal experience, from experience with friends, neighbors, and relatives. Frank Duran, the real estate man.com, 303-920-1622. 920-1622. He is simply the best. Now, when you do a real estate deal, you're going to need a loan one way or another, or maybe not, but most people need loans. And when you get a loan, who do I say you go to? Well, if you're going shopping, get a pre-approval at Ideal Home Loans. You do not understand how strong a pre-approval is. We're not talking about pre-qualifying. We're talking about going through the entire underwriting process and then get an approval. And all you need is title work and an appraisal, and you're closed. It can happen in 3 weeks or less. Call Ideal Home Loans if you're shopping for a home and get the power of a cash buyer. 303-867-7000. Your offer will rise to the top. IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000.
From the L&L
So
Heating
on
and Air
that
Conditioning
intercooler,
Trust.
no, hold on here. On that intercooler, is there a way to flow check that intercooler? Because we can do a flow check on a radiator to see.
Even if you could do a flow check, it's not going to tell you if there were chips of the impeller in there, what contamination is in there.
It won't tell you that, but
it might tell you if it's not added.
Right, it'll tell you it's restricted. But a lot of times, if a transmission fails,
but you wouldn't normally do
you can't
that.
service the radiator. You just got to replace it. It's so full of metal, you can't get
I'm
it
going to
out.
be doing a spot in between here. I just asked that your VP a little lower. Okay. Just when I do the spot. It's terrible. I don't know, man. What to do?
30K how? This month.
What do you got?
What's tough now is it's not in their position anymore. That changes everything.
Okay.
That's Napa.
If you're injured due to the negligence of another, you may have losses that you can't even calculate right now. You can't work. Imagine that. You can't work. You don't have a car. You are losing all kinds of enjoyment in life. And you're wondering, what should I do? Seriously, when it comes to a personal injury, you need to seek legal advice. That doesn't mean you want to sue right away. Maybe you get someone who at least can value that case. That's the important thing. If you have losses, you don't know what to look for, and you don't know where to look. That's what John Fuller does. First and foremost, he evaluates the case, then he tells you where to look and how to look for reimbursement, because that is our system of judgment, of justice. And I'll tell you, it takes all kinds of legal knowledge in many different areas of law. John Fuller, Fuller Law. You can't go wrong to consult him. Complimentary, always, when you consult him initially, and then if you hire him, he takes only a small percentage of what he collects. It's 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. His website is johnrfuller.com.
Hey Jay, you know what time of year it is? Of course I do.
It's Dodge.
To hit up all the fun patios in Denver. Sun, food,
What do you guys, I mean...
Well, I mean,
what would you do?
Well, to say that he cleaned the cooler without pulling it out is no. And blaming it on all that, I mean, that's just crazy.
Did Matt pay him at Springs Auto and Truck?
He had to get the truck out of there, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
This message brought
Good question.
But if there's metal in there, there's no reason to believe that they got it clean enough if there's still metal.
Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated.
No, they're
We've got
saying
new
that's
cabinet
the new
colors for
turbo.
2016 that are incredible. In stock,
Yeah, but they're
and
saying the
ready for
chunks are
immediate
bigger
pickup. We are back in
than
stock on our popular
missing
Novella
pieces.
shaker cabinet, as
So,
well as our brand new
I don't think they
shaker
properly
cabinet
cleaned the
called
cooler.
Snowhaven.
But here's an experienced mechanic who would start it up. Run away, he takes keys out and runs in the thing. Why don't you try to, here's one of the things. When they run away, you can't turn them off. You can put a CO2 fire extinguisher and use it.
Well, you're not prepared for a runaway. No, you don't.
You wouldn't run into the
It's absolutely Springs.
What?
I just talked to Mercedes at length. Absolutely, positively, it's them. Springs' fault.
You mean...
Okay, yeah. So you talked to Mercedes-Benz a little bit?
Just got off.
Okay, I want to tell you how to get a furnace for $2,000 in savings
Now,
now.
Plumline Discount will discount over $1,000 right off the bat. You get $500 for a high-efficiency system and $500 in free accessories plus 10-year parts and labor warranty valued at $950. You have utility company rebates valued at more than $1,300. You have 0% financing for 3 years. And guess what? It's all at Plumline for Carrier, a great name in heating and cooling, and you get a completely new system. Get it now before the heat comes and you regret it. If you're having any issues at all, at least get a consultation, especially if you've been told you need a system, because Plumline will give you a free second opinion. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. My Plumline services, go-to guys for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. 303-586-1086.
Making America great again, as it turns out. First of all, write in Mercedes guidelines on these. You replace those intercoolers. There's too many. There's too many little things in there. There's no way you can get out of it. Second thing, chunks of the original propeller or impeller are in the intercooler, and they've got all these. And the reason they know it's not from the new one, the new one's just got little chips out of it. It's a literal chunk of it. It's a chunk of it. They also said it doesn't even look like they clean the intercooler. They go, we don't know for sure because we never do that. Because we can't do that because it'll do exactly this. And I said, how about this EGR theory? He goes, well, we've heard of it, but in 15 years that I've been doing this, not one has ever done it that we've done. And we've done so many intercoolers, it's crazy.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. There's really not much more we can do here, and I'll tell you why. Matt, we talked to Mercedes directly, and Mark is absolutely convinced that Colorado Springs Auto and Truck Service Center is at fault. Now, they may, we're not going to accuse them of doing anything intentional or anything, but they're wrong, and they're just not handling it correctly. And I think you're going to win in court. You're going to win in court, Matt. So, Mark, what convinced you?
Well, here's it. I mean, this is it. The evidence is this. Parts of the old impeller, they actually have. They can prove that they're from the old impeller because a new impeller might have some chips out of it, but it doesn't have chugs. The intercooler,
it's not the same part.
The intercooler, 100% from Mercedes, the manufacturer of this, you never even try to clean them, and they don't even think it was attempted to be cleaned, but you always have to replace them. They gave Matt the actual bulletin from Mercedes saying you have to do it this way, and as far as the EGR possibly causing this because there's fuel in it, this guy said in the 15 years and thousands of intercoolers and thousands of turbos they've done, they've never seen that happen one time. So, and even if it did, it doesn't matter because they didn't clean it. There's metal throughout this entire engine, and no offense, Daryl, I personally, in my opinion, think you're a lying, cheating little ripoff.
What do you mean lying? What do you mean lying?
Because he's saying they cleaned it and they said all this, and there's no way they did do it.
Well,
Tom.
What?
Tom, listen. Now, did Daryl just say that he knew that my new turbo was blown up and he was ordering a new one?
Yeah.
Did he just say that?
Yes, he did.
Then why did they make me last Thursday pay for the remaining balance of that, my messed up turbo, that's supposedly my new one,
and threaten them?
I could get it out of their shop.
Well, here's the deal, okay?
I say we follow the lawsuit and update people every day about Colorado Springs Auto and Truck Service Center.
Matt, we know, look, we're convinced that they did you wrong, okay? And they're going to have to make it right. And if they don't, we're going to help you. You're going to go to court. You're going to, now just remember, even if you win, I'm just going to tell you this. You are, and I'm not going to discuss this here because it's a matter of calculation. You're not going to get the full 100% value of a new engine and a new turbo. You're not going to get it, no matter what you do, okay? You will get partial, okay? If it is 50% life, you're going to get 50%. If they robbed you of 75% life, you'll get 75%. And, with how many miles on it?
160.
Okay, we just have to determine, and the courts will have to determine what is the lifespan of a normal Sprinter van, and you're not going to say, well, it's like new. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Now, that is a different discussion, but I am absolutely positive they're 100% responsible, but not responsible for 100% of the cost. And now, if that makes sense. So let's say everything is going to cost you how much? How much?
Well, the dealer's already ordered a new motor.
Well, how much? How much?
It's $16,500 plus tax.
Okay, so and that's with installation?
I believe so.
Plus, you still need the intercooler and you need the turbo, or is that part of that?
I think it's total. I think that's with everything. I think the new motors come with the turbo.
Well, if it's 16 grand, and if it's 16 grand, how much is installation on top of that?
Well, I'm guessing the 16 when they told me that this morning, that was all included.
He's saying that's
well. If that's included, then I think these guys are looking at least 8 grand.
Well, here at least because I'm reading on UPS's site they use Sprinters for a lot, and the average mileage they get is 600,000.
Yeah, but Mark, that doesn't mean. Hold on, let's be realistic, okay, Mark? Okay. Whatever it is, because UPS uses them for 600,000. It's got to be the average fleet. What
I agree.
I don't know what the lifespan is. I don't know, but I appreciate Daryl being on. Daryl, I'll let you give a closing comment, but sir, this is just going to go to court. We listen. I understand, like you offered to compromise, but the bottom line is, I'm trying to be kind here, but there's no way out of this. You guys just did it wrong.
You know, we stand behind all of our work.
Well, you obviously don't.
No, you don't.
You're not
Yeah,
standing behind this, man.
You know what? Read our reviews. You come down here and you can take my customer list and call. You can call a random 100 customers on how we treat them.
Well, okay, but this one you dropped the ball. I mean,
you do. Before Mark wakes up, why don't he or talks again? Why don't he come down here and do that?
Okay.
I'll be happy to come down and meet you, man. I got to tell you, I don't like anything you do down there.
Well,
I don't know why you're dropping the ball on this guy.
Well, Mark.
It's evident.
Mark.
Why don't you go down to the Mercedes dealer and talk to them and see pieces that they found from that original impeller? What do you think of that? Will that convince you?
Hey, Daryl.
Would that convince you, Daryl?
Daryl, here's the deal, bro. Here's the deal. Well, Mark, I don't agree when Mark says he doesn't like anything you're doing, because you're probably right. You have some customers that are very happy with you. But what difference does that make now?
It doesn't make any difference.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean,
one of those situations where we try to help a customer, cut all of our costs, try to help the customer every way we can. We broke our own rules to help this customer, and it comes back and bites us.
It does. Sometimes it happens. It just does. And I'm sorry about that. But I got to tell you, I don't see any way around this. You guys are going to pay.
And I'm going to update people every day on it.
Yeah, you're going to pay. And here's the thing, Daryl. You're saying you have mostly happy customers. Well, maybe that's because you haven't had any major problems.
Wait a minute, though. Right after we talked about this today, what happened? Within 5 minutes, we had someone calling not happy with them.
Okay, but here I have a challenge for Daryl. Daryl, I would be glad to look at your customer base. But here's what I want to know. Can you show me any customers that have had a major loss as a result of something you guys did where you paid for it?
Yes.
Good. I'll take you up on it.
I've spent $9,000 because we accidentally, 3 times we've accidentally taken a motor home and something happened to it while it was in our possession.
Okay.
And we took it to a body shop. I've probably spent over $35,000 in the last 2 years on fixing problems.
And it happens once in a while. And I appreciate that. If you've done that, I'd be happy to take a look at your customer base. But again, that doesn't help Matt. And I do think in this case, it's just being handled wrongly.
I mean, just the fact
now,
they didn't follow procedure, they're buried.
Now, I promise you, we're done with this. Okay, we're going to take new calls coming up, so I'm going to get rid of those 2 calls. We're going to have some lines open. I know Chris has been waiting about his Beamer X5 that smokes when he idles more than 10 minutes. And Chris, it's an 05, and you know we're going to troubleshoot that and more coming right up. And it's going to be an easy thing to figure out on that. I mean, gosh, it's old, and Beamers are known for oil leaks. 303-713-8255. Get your calls in right now. And let's talk about this. If you partook in 420, then you might have gotten a ticket for driving under the influence. Okay? Now, it's no laughing matter. It's just as bad as driving under the influence with alcohol. A lot of people think that marijuana is a lesser offense. It's not. So here's what you have to do. If you were stupid enough to smoke and drive, edibles and drive, or drink and drive, you need someone to help you get through the system. That means the legal system, because you have a criminal offense and a civil offense. If it turns out that you think you were falsely accused, you need someone as well. Joseph A. Lazara is an attorney at law that handles DUIs. Give him a call, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. You may have heard of designated drivers when it comes to alcohol. You also need them when it comes to partying with pot. LazaraLegal.com. He's on my referral list. 303-429-6200.
This report is brought to you by There's a couple of highway crashes.
Did you know that? Did you know that Starbucks had a drink celebration of 420 Day called the Unicorn? Right. Called the Unicorn.
I saw it. I didn't know if that was
Why they call it the Unicorn?
Because it was
tasty and sweet.
Mix up different colors.
Changes colors and flavors when you drink it or something.
So they're pro-drug.
It's going to be cool today with
that's what you could.
48.
That's what you could conclude.
They want our kids to smoke pot, is what they're saying.
Drinking a
These
Unicorn.
guys, I tried to be nice to these
K-How.
They're so full of shit, man.
Try to be nice to our guys.
Springs guys at Springs, I try to give them every opportunity.
I did too.
But just the way he answers things. So what do you want me to sue all data? Like,
As soon as he said that, I'm going.
I lost him too, right
That's
there.
where I knew this guy was like full of shit.
Well, you had a good point too, Mark, because when you were talking about the intercoolers, they're so small, those capillaries, I'm thinking.
Right now? All right, let's talk about biotech. Biot. Somebody tell me biotech. We're talking about testosterone treatment. And Biot is a company that I went to when I heard about them. And the way they operate is they have clinics, affiliated clinics and doctors around the metro area. That's what I love. It's not this clinic that treats you like a bunch of cattle when you go in for treatment. So let's just talk about how they do it. If you go to this website I'm going to give you, you will find participating doctors. And I want to tell you the difference between Biot and all those other places you hear about.
Biot is the first step to health, energy, focus, and happiness with which naturally replenishes your testosterone in the most natural way. People who get testosterone shots have peaks and valleys. It's just the nature of it. If you inject something, you're going to get a bunch of it, and then it's going to wear off, and you're going to get in valley, and it happens weekly or daily. If you take creams, you get hardly any of it truly absorbed. Also, it's not that great as far as effectiveness, and it's not natural. But listen to what Biot does. I use Biot, and I am telling you there is nothing better when it comes to testosterone replacement. And for those listening, testosterone is a building block to other hormones. Women need it for estrogen, and men need it for both testosterone and estrogen. And when you go to a Biot clinic, they will make sure that those two are balanced. You can't just go get testosterone without the other components. Biot is complete and natural. Now here's what they do. They have pellets that are implanted right under the skin in a fatty part. And what happens is it slowly dissolves over a 4 to 6 month period. So if you have a lot of activity, you get more. You don't have so much activity, you get less. And it secretes naturally as your glands would. And I'm telling you, it is a wonderful thing to do. A lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to replenish hormones. I don't believe in it. Well, that's crazy. That's like saying I'm just going to let my car wear out. I mean, you maintain your car. Why wouldn't you maintain your body? I can tell you from personal experience, seriously, I'm proud that I'm 63. You know, we make jokes about it and all that. But I tell you that I am nothing like a 63-year-old guy that you know. And I'm telling you, I can thank Biot. Biot. If you want to find out more, go to biotmedical.com. B-I-O-T-E. That's Bio-T-E. B-I-O-T-E medical.com. Find a doctor in the metro area and make an appointment. That's all you have to do. You'll get blood tested, and then you get that implant, and it will change your life. Biotmedical.com.
Pat Miller, Gabby Gourmet. Steve Miller will host a rising Colorado food company.
That was weird. Why did we not hear her either?
I went to let Daryl go for the operations manager. He says, well, doesn't Tom want some customer names?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not going to do it on the air.
So just take his number and have somebody.
No, just get the customer names from him.
Oh.
Or tell him I'll come down and get them next week. When's a good time for him? 3 o'clock? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Low-interest financing.
It's a ribbon cutting ceremony.
At the ribbon cutting ceremony for his new shop.
Alright, we got Art of Granite coming up after this one, like 10 seconds.
Bring your monthly payment.
Seriously, get a date. I'll go down there next week.
To be paid back, Steve Haney is the go-to guy. The Mortgage Doctor, Saturday afternoons at 4 on 630 KHOW.
Now, I want to give you a testimony, okay, for Art of Granite. Mark and Suzanne used them once before, and you're going today, aren't you? Didn't I just hear you?
Right after the show.
You really are going. You love this guy.
Absolutely. This time we're picking out cabinets, though.
Yeah. Now, Mitch Floria runs Art of Granite. And I tell people, go there, go there, go there. We, honest to God, use everyone we advertise. We know them, and we stand behind them. Now, Mitch does kitchens and baths. He does granite countertops, or actually any natural stone, okay, and solid surface. And then he does cabinets direct from manufacturers at small markups. The granite, he doesn't mark up at all. It's wholesale. You only pay for the fabrication and installation. With the cabinets, you pay for a markup. And what you do in the kitchen, you get in the bathroom free. So if you do kitchen cabinets, you'll get a bathroom vanity free. And if you do kitchen countertops, you'll get a vanity top free. He tears out and hauls away the old kitchen and bath free. artofgranite.net. Now, I want to tell you that he starts with just a phone call and some measurements or a photograph or both. And he can get you a pretty close price. If you like it, you go to his showroom in Golden and pick out specific items. When you find exactly what you want, you'll get an exact price that will not change. The turnaround is anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, beginning to end. And Mark, am I right in saying is it a seamless process? Does he take care of everything? It was seamless.
Mine was much quicker, but I'm special. I'm just kidding.
How long was it?
We went down there. We ordered it. They were out there within 14 days, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So everything will be done at Art of Granite to your specifications and on time. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. artofgranite.net.
Water cooler talk.
And so much more. Our strong station, 630 KHOW.
Is that right?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. John, you have a complaint with Lyft. By the way, we get several complaints about Lyft and also about Uber, about how their payment bonus programs. I'll bet you it's about you're not getting your bonus.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, my daughter worked for Lyft, and she referred me. And they had promised her a driver referral bonus. And when you sign up, her bonus is her referral driver is supposed to show up on her app, and I never showed up on her app. So I started asking them why I'm not showing up on her app, on her driver app as a referral, because she referred me.
Yeah.
And they said that it didn't qualify since the offer expired, but it didn't expire because it had only been 2 weeks, and I had only driven for them for 2 weeks. And then they started changing their story, and first of all, they offered her another.
Well, here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know, John. Did it expire or not, or were you referred during the time period that it was open?
Yes, I was.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay. So when you said they offered her another one, what do you mean?
Oh, they upped the offer from $375 to $400.
Why?
Don't know. But then we took that offer because it was a newer offer from the other offer.
But let me get this straight. She was going to be paid a referral bonus if she referred you. She referred you under the program of $375. Then did they have a new program?
Yeah, then they offered her.
No, I'm not asking offering her. Did they do a brand new program, or was this just for her?
It was for her referring me. That's
okay.
What we understood.
Okay, so how much did she get? Anything at all?
Nothing. They never. They said it didn't qualify since the original offer that they gave her. They said was on April 14th, and when I was done signing on, they said it was February 14th, which wasn't true because I didn't even start the application process.
John, so what? How much are you trying to get?
All I want is them to give her referral bonus because I never started. First of all, I didn't start the application on April 14th like they said. I never started the application until they confirmed that she would get the referral. And then I went and applied.
But it would show online when you started. It would be Irrefutable. You went online and you started, no matter what you say. So what does it show?
Well, it shows that the day I started, I completed the application.
Well, maybe that's what they go by. I don't know. I mean, are you arguing for the 375 or for the 400? Because I'm confused. Would you be satisfied with the 375?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was their original offer.
I understand that. Listen, John, I don't want to talk about the verbal promise to increase it. I just want to talk about this offer. Was it offered to every driver, something we can document?
Well, they send her the email over. Well, they
does she have the email or the text?
Yeah, we have the text on her phone.
And it says, if you refer someone by such and such a date, you will get a bonus.
It doesn't say anything about such and such a date or it expiring whatsoever.
Then
that was just something they made up after the fact.
It sounds like it, because if there was no publication of an expiration date, they can't just pull one out of their butt. I mean, it sounds to me, Mark, it sounds just like Uber was doing. They make these promises and then just don't follow through.
Or they word them to where it's very tricky.
So when you show them the text, who do you talk to? Who do you talk to?
Well, you would have to go to their office and show them the text.
What office?
And they kept telling me...
What office, John? What office?
Okay, there's one at the Fernie Museum on Brighton Boulevard.
And when you go into the office and you show them the text, what excuse do they have for not paying it?
Well, they said, oh, that expired. But they never...
Okay, we're going in circles.
About it. It doesn't say anything about, well, this offer expired.
Can you give us, Suzanne, please get a name and number of somebody we can talk to there at Lyft.
And a picture of the text.
Yeah, we need a picture of the text. I would love for them to tell us it expired. And all I would ask is, show us. I mean, show us. Where did it expire? Why do they do this? Why do they do this? They promise these drivers. By the way, this is not the only complaint we've gotten. This seems to be a pretty common thing, that they promise things that they don't deliver. Now, listen, I know a lot of you have held, and I promise you I'm going to get to you. We're running behind, okay? So just hang on here. There's two I will definitely get on. And Lisa said she held and didn't get on the other day. Lisa, what is wrong with the electrical issue in your house?
Hi, Tom. I had an addition put on my house.
Yeah.
And they put the lights in there, and they put some lights in there, and they ran it off of an existing outlet that was on the outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
They have two lights. Well, they actually have 3 lights, motion sensor lights, and then they have a total of 4 outlets that are in the room.
What is the issue?
The issue is I ran a fan or a vacuum cleaner inside my house, and I believe it shut off several of the outlets inside my house, and it also blew out. I mean, it didn't blow it out, but nothing's working in the addition either. And I'm wondering, they said they're going to come up, put a new GFI and do 2 GFIs or something. Is that normal, or?
Well, is what normal? Is what normal?
Well, is it normal for them to be running, 1, 2, 3, 4 or more outlets and 3 lights off of one previous outlet?
Well, no, not to extend that one circuit. But here's what I would recommend. Now, listen, you got to take advantage of this because it's from Plumline, and it's not. You don't have to pay a dime if they don't do anything. But here's what I would do. Now, just listen. They have this. This is a prime example of where this thing works. It's a find, fix, or free electrical problem. Okay, find, fix, or free. That means that if they can't find it and fix it for $149, you don't pay anything. So here's what happens. If you call them and they go out, now I know it's the contractor's problem, but if they can't find it, they'll always find it. But if they can't fix it for $149, if it's major, they're going to give you a diagnostic report. If they can fix it, pay the $149 and get it done. Then we can get what was wrong and go back to the contractor, and we can fight the contractor with irrefutable proof. So it's find, fix, or free for $149. Now, I'm talking to Lisa, but anyone can take advantage of this. It's a wonderful program because at the very least, you get a free diagnostic. At the very most, for $149, you'll get it fixed. And they can fix most anything for that, about 85% of the problems. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. All right, I got to take a quick break, and I want to tell you about Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, remember, Rocky's has the selection, the financing, and the better trade values. Those are the three things I like to look for. They encourage you to shop around, but please, people, take notes and come there. At least make them part of your shopping trip. 40 lenders to choose from. And that means all of the loans are approved on the spot before you leave. They will never call you back with a problem. Once you're approved, you're approved. Also, better pricing because they own each and every car in that lot. A Carfax with every single car. Also, better trades because they sell them right there. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646.
This report is brought to you by Napa Auto.
Give yourself plenty of time if you got to travel on I-25 downtown, northbound I-25. It's really heavy. Starting at about Colfax, it's backed up all the way to about Downing at this time. Southbound I-25 is heavy just south of Mousetrap heading down towards Colfax. It doesn't help that there's a crash in southbound I-25 just south of I-70 as well. And look out for a crash being cleared on I-70 westbound at Washington. Weather forecast. Cloudy, rainy, high of only
under I-25. I come from the north,
so
I saw that mess.
There was a car rolled under there.
Is that what it was? I couldn't tell what it was because there's fire engines, ambulances, everything.
Looks like there was a car rolled under the bridge.
Paradigm coming up right after this.
So that second plumb line, there were two in there, and I don't know why. But it's done. That's why I did it like that. Did you see two plumb lines on the log or not?
I'll check it.
Paradigm Interiors for your floor coverings. Boy, it's a place that I highly recommend. If you're doing any home improvements or you just want to change out your floors, you will love the support you get, the pricing you get, the advice you get, and it's all from Paradigm. Now, let me tell you what I love about Paradigm. Okay, they run the place like a big warehouse, but it's also kind of like a small mom and pop place. How is it possible? Well, they have this big showroom, and they have stocked all, I don't mean stocked like overstocked, I mean just the demos of all the floors. You can get all the beautiful floors, all the new stuff. Now, they can, once you pick something, they can get the inventory in 1 to 2 days. So, you know, it's transparent to you whether or not they have a warehouse. It doesn't matter. They have the showroom, and then they get the product in to do your job. And when they do your job, it will be with a design consultant and a project manager. So you're really dealt with face-to-face, person-to-person. But you get the pricing and the selection of a big warehouse. It's an excellent combination. You should go see them on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. They've been in business 14 years. 303-630-9204.
It's everything you want when you shop. Selection, service, and people who care. 303-630-9204.
I want you to remember this word, sepsis.
Sepsis is a medical complication that's the cause of over 3,000 deaths in Colorado each year.
Visit fightsepsis.org to learn more.
This message brought to you by this station, the Coalition for Sepsis Survival, and the Colorado Broadcasters Association.
Well, that's why I pointed it out.
You a U.S.
It was real, I was going to say knock it.
Now, but this is an excellent example where this would work. Because think about it, no matter how major it is, it won't cost her anything.
Oh, it's perfect. You kidding?
Yeah, 149. I mean, wow.
But if they can't fix it, they give you a written report and you don't pay for it.
Right.
So, I mean, I wish I could think of more things like that. Because for 149, they can probably fix it.
Right.
But you have nothing to lose because if they can't, at least you know
an interest. And of course, your mortgage interest is also
second opinion to see what they say.
Exactly.
See if they give you a whole different story.
Right.
And say, come on, guys.
I'd like to see this more in the HVAC. And Todd Terry's doing something similar. I love that offer that Todd Terry has, that $200 offer.
Oh, plus parts. 200 plus parts.
200 plus parts.
We have to come up with some
90% of air conditioners and furnaces.
You're right.
We really need to
Something automotive.
Find Fix or Free would be great for cars.
Oh, that's free diagnostic.
That would be great. Find Fix or Free. Think about that. What loss?
Here's where the loss is.
Well, the diagnosis
weird
is the hard
electrical
part.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Weird
you mean
drivability.
Well, it is with electrical too, but most of the time they're going to have it done, and you can probably fix it. Find, fix, or free for give it.
Yeah, but what if it takes them 8 hours to find an electrical deal?
I'm not saying, okay, you can exclude electrical.
Exclude electrical, yeah.
You can find, fix, or free.
Exclude electrical. Have a whole list of things that it excludes.
See exclusions on the back.
Don't you understand? Find, fix, or free. Give a price of whatever.
It's beautiful.
And then if you can't fix it,
you get a chance to look.
But do the parts where you can hook up a computer. Do the only thing you would exclude, okay? You don't have to exclude anything major because you only have to exclude things that take a long time to find, not that cost a lot of money to fix.
Well,
because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you could still fix or free. Okay, take my transmission out, take it apart for nothing.
No.
Mark, you understand?
I'll throw it on.
It's find, fix, or free. I can't find it. I can't find it. Right. In order to find it, I would have to tear apart the transmission. So guess what? It's major. It's free. You get people in the door.
Mm-hmm.
There's no downside to it. It's find, fix, or free.
Yeah.
You get first shot at them.
You get first choice too if you're going to continue looking at it and fix it. Actually, it's a great
idea. You want to
idea.
toss your hands in the air and say, you know what, this is going to take way longer than I thought, so there's no charge. This is what we think it is.
Then you say, hey, it's free.
Right.
You're already doing it with your hour free diagnostic.
I was just going to say.
It's just a different way of doing it because you give a definite price.
Right.
But you do it. You exclude whatever.
You don't have to.
Well, you're right. You don't have to exclude shit.
You exclude electrical because electrical takes too long to find, but you still want to.
Hey, by the way, on the Rockies thing, I just got a note from Rockies, and they wanted me to let you know they have a 2016, or they have a few 2016 Dodge Grand Caravans. They're good vans, man. You guys make really good vans. 2016, also, they have a Chrysler Town and Country. And 14, what does that mean? They have the Town and Country is the model, the car, right? They have a 2016 and a 2014. They have two 2015 Kia Sedonas, and they have two 2015 Dodge Grand Caravans. Man, I'm not telling you, Chrysler and Dodge make hell of vans, don't they? They make great vans. They must be very popular for Rockies to stock them like this. Do you guys sell a lot of those? Oh, you got to turn the mic on. Your mic?
We do. We sell a lot of them, as a matter of fact. They are popular, and they are a good van. They're a very good van. They're real popular with the rental companies, too, so there's a ton of them out there.
Okay, let's keep going here and find out why, Chris, I'm so sorry you waited so long, and I'm going to try to get through this 05 BMW X5 smokes. Guys, didn't you tell me that Beamers kind of have a problem with oil leaks?
Well, leaks and stuff, but you know, there's another common problem with them. It's called an oil separator.
Is that could that cause the smoke?
Very easily, yeah.
Could that cause? So,
how much of a fix is that?
A couple $100.
Chris, where is it smoking? Do you know? Is it out the exhaust pipe?
Yeah, both exhaust pipes.
And it's only when it idles.
Only when it idles. It's the weirdest thing. I can drive it across town and back. I'll park it in the driveway and let it idle for 10 minutes, and it starts to smoke.
So while you're driving, you're not getting anything?
Nothing.
Really?
And after, it shoots a big puff of smoke, and then it's fine. There's nothing afterwards.
Now, wait a minute. You mean after 10 minutes there's a puff of smoke?
Well, as soon as you hit the gas, then there's a puff of smoke, and then it's fine.
Okay, but
that
if you
could be a cat, too, right, guys?
No, but that's only when he first steps on the gas after 10 minutes. So if you just let it idle for 10 minutes, no smoke.
No smoke.
But after 10 minutes of idling, in other words, in traffic, when you stop and go, you don't have smoking. But if it stays more than 10 minutes, you have smoking. How would you even discover that? How did you discover that? That's a weird one.
I was sitting at a stoplight at one of those long ones that you see here in Denver.
For 10 freaking minutes?
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes. When I finally took off, I happened to be looking in the rearview mirror, and I saw that puff of smoke, and I was like, did that just come from me?
Okay, so guys, why would that happen after 10 minutes of idle? Why would that cause a puff of smoke? You have any idea?
It's just the way it's pulling the oil in.
What do you think it is?
I think it's the oil separator because it's got a diaphragm, and it will store oil. When the vacuum hits, it'll pull it right through.
Now, listen, I hope that's close. If not, remember, these guys will give free looks at stuff. We have A1, a budget A1 transmission auto repair, that 303-781-9858. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, 303-455-7242. And then we have Colorado Springs Dodge, 719-475-8550. And, you know, if you go by any of our shops, they love to take a look.
If you or someone you know is blind from retinitis pigmentosa, or RP, there may now be light at the end of the tunnel. The FDA has approved a prosthesis system that provides some artificial vision for those blinded by RP. Known as the Argus II Retinal Prosthesis System and designated by FDA as a humanitarian device, this is the only FDA-approved treatment for end-stage retinitis pigmentosa. Find out more by calling 800-499-7620. 800-499-7620 to